they couldn't do it, they ain't made for it. But what they missing is the path been paid for. That's why he get up top, like he belong there. And when he take it off, it's like he own air. Flying high now, like the birds do. It's all over with style, just flying over you. Don't forget the name, the game is his to claim. Rich DNA, we about to change the thing.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. Dogs need that kind of toughness in every game in this league.
Your emotions are as sky high as they ever will be.
It's not just another game.
And he's a big play kind of guy.
A terrific day of football ahead.
This is the Napa Tailgate Show.
And the fans are ready for it.
Take out your Richter scales because Georgia is going to run out of the tunnel.
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Welcome to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. The Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show is brought to you in part by Kroger, fresh for everyone. Georgia's own credit union, banking on purpose. Georgia Farm Bureau, always the home team. And by Georgia United Credit Union. Score your official Bulldogs debit card today at gucu.org/GoDogs. Now to the Scana Energy stage. Here's Neil Hondo Williamson.
Snap to Frank, stands in the pocket, throws, it's intercepted. Stokes, he's going to take it to the house, near sideline, touchdown of about 28 yards on the interception return for the score.
That play was the capper to a 3-touchdown outburst over a span of just 3 minutes, 7 seconds last week at Arkansas, as Eric Stokes' pick six helped the Bulldogs race past the Razorbacks in a 37-10 opening week victory. Today, the degree of difficulty compounds considerably as fourth-ranked Georgia hosts number 7 Auburn for a renewal of the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Hello, Bulldog Nation. Welcome to the Napa Tailgate Show. I'm joined on our Scana stage outside the bookstore by a man who has co-hosted this program for nearly 50, that's 50 seasons, Lauren Smith. And also with us is legendary quarterback Eric Zier. And in the press box overlooking Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium is the voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard. And men, even though there'll only be 22,000 or so in the stands for tonight's top 10 clash, it sure is great to be playing football between the hedges again. Scott?
Well, I'm still counting the seats, so give me a few more seconds to finish counting. All the seats in the stadium are all spaced out properly. Most of them are 4 together, and we get 20-something thousand in here, and they'll pipe in the noise. We should have some decent atmosphere in here tonight. It should be good.
You excited, Lauren?
Oh, yes, I am very excited and hot, too. I walked from my office, and I'm quite winded.
Oh, yeah, that's a hike.
I couldn't find Gate 8 table, the media table. But now I'm in business, and I'm ready to talk football and ready to see the Georgia team do well. I think they'll do well at home. Neil, I just watched them since August, and I know it's been tough with the virus and all of that, but I do have to say that Kirby and the coaches have done an excellent job in keeping the attitude just right. Now, you never know. Young kids are young kids, and they do what young kids do, so you never know when a guy will make a poor decision, but if they follow what they've been asked to do by the coaching staff and Ron Corson, our director of sports medicine, I think we got a chance to continue playing.
Well, this town is full of opportunities for wrong decisions, Lauren, and hopefully our players won't.
Yeah, no. Speaking from experience.
Speaking from
experience, I'll go first.
I don't think there's any question that Kirby Smart and this coaching staff has got this team prepared. Obviously, a little bumpy start last week at Arkansas in the first half. We knocked off a little bit bit of that rust there as we got going into the game, started running the football better. Stetson Bennett came in, played really, really well. But, boy, it is good to be back in this city. Obviously, it's a different atmosphere, but it will still be electric inside the stadium. I think we saw that last week against Arkansas, is that once you get into the game atmosphere and you've got the noise piped in and you've got all the videos up, that it feels very much like a game, just with fewer people in the stands. But I will tell you, the 23,000 or so that we're going to have here, they're going to be able to make a lot of noise, and I expect them to be loud.
Yeah, I agree with you. It felt very much like a regular game. Well, anyway, we expect the Red and Black to face a tougher test in the 7th-ranked Tigers than we did last week, and we'll do so without the resolution to the most pressing question for UGA, which is, who is our long-term answer at quarterback in 2020? As most Bulldogs are aware, last Saturday, Stetson Bennett checked into the contest mid-second quarter and contributed not only instant success, but also a noticeable calming influence on the Georgia team.
I thought Stetson did a good job when he came in. He's played a lot of football. He had good composure. He handled the pocket well. He handled the protections well. Stetson's seen a lot of football in his time. So with the stuff he sees from our defense day in and day out, taking all the reps last year, he was very calm and poised.
There's Coach Smart. Stetson completed his first 3 passes. Boom, boom, boom. 8 yards to Pickens, 11 to Kieris, then 8 more to Kieris. That'll settle a team down in a hurry, Eric Zier.
Yeah, it really would. You could just tell his maturity. As soon as he stepped onto the field, everybody calmed down. And it was a nerve-wracking time. You're not playing very well. You look out of sync. Stetson with all of that maturity. And keep in mind, too, for the past year, he's been going up against one of the top defenses in the country, running scout team. That prepares you. It gets you ready to go. And he looked up to the moment. He was up to the moment. It calmed everybody else and really lifted the play of the entire offense.
Well, he had a steady hand on the tiller. He has great passion for the game, great passion for the University of Georgia. That 2-point conversion effort was tremendous to get to the pylon. He was determined to get there, so he's a strong competitor. And I know a little bit about him that I want to share with you guys. His grandfather, Buddy Bennett, played for John Donaldson at Jessup, played after that at Stetson, then went to South Carolina, and he coached for several teams in the SEC. He was at Tennessee when an Athens boy, David Allen, played in the backfield, defensive backfield there, and they had 68 turnovers in 1970 under Buddy Bennett. So Buddy had a great knowledge of the game, and he played for Wayman Sellers, who was a teammate of John Donaldson. So I'd say Stetson's pedigree is pretty good, and I think he's known a lot about football growing up.
Well, DeJuan Mathis was last week's starter, but it was Bennett who captained the Bulldogs ship to victory at Arkansas. Now, add to the mix Southern Cal transfer J.T. Daniels, who just this week has been cleared to play.
He's still got to be able to go out there and prove to us that he can do it in the game-like situations, in the practice-like situations, and that's not easy to do during the week.
The aforementioned developments beg the question, Scott Howard, who gets the call under center today?
I think the first guy will be Stetson today. I think he earned that last week and hopefully continued to do that in practice this week. I also don't rule out the possibility of multiple guys playing that spot again this week. I don't know what the ins and outs of that will be, but I think Stetson will be the first guy we see in the ball game. And if he goes the whole game, that's great. If he doesn't go the whole game and Mathis or if Daniels is able to get in, then that's good too. But I think this is a position that's still under the microscope as far as determining who that guy is going to be. As you mentioned before, Neil, long term, I don't think we've gotten to that point yet.
Yeah, Scott, I agree with you. I think Stetson, based on his play last week, based on just his maturity and what he brought to this offense, I think he gets the nod today early on. Like you, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw multiple quarterbacks in the football game today. Stetson, of course, can take care of all of that by going out and just duplicating the kind of performance that he had last week, because he was ready to go, he was prepared, and he can lead this team to victory. We've got enough tools and enough talent around him on this football team that he can go out, manage the football game, take care of the football, and he can make every throw you need to go make. So right now I think it's his job to lose, but I do think this quarterback competition is a long, long way from over.
All right, on defense, our Dogs limited the Razorbacks to a meager 280 yards of total offense and 10 points, but faltered, allowing a couple of long first-quarter completions, including a 49-yard TD pass.
A lot of people think because of the pick six and the safety that all was great. There was a lot missed there, and a lot of opportunities where we ended up one-on-one that if one guy breaks a tackle, it's a touchdown, and we need 2 people there. We need 3 people there.
Well, his team surrenders only 10 points in victory, but Coach Smart is ever the perfectionist, Lauren, and that's part of why you love him.
Oh yes, and he wants to keep his players on their toes. Keep them on that edge, because if you relax, if you take it for granted, bad things can happen. But I really believe that this team is so anxious to play, so anxious to be at home, although it's so different. And Neil, I have to say that if you're in the stands today and you see a coach say something, you don't have to read lips to see what he's saying. You can hear him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so can the referees. So can the referees. All right, before we get out of here, fellas, Eric and Scott, I'm interested in what you think. Coach Smart pointed out this week DeJuan was not he was not the only reason for the problems with our offense this week. And Eric, why don't let you go first on this one?
No, he's absolutely right. Momentum means so much in a game, especially when you're young and you're getting your first live action, playing major college football. His first big run, we have a holding penalty that brings us back. We were marred by a number of penalties in the first half. So all of those things, when you lose that momentum and then 1 or 2 bad plays occur, it's really easy to lose your confidence. And I think he just got behind the 8 ball a little bit in terms of that. But he, by himself, didn't play that bad. And you get a couple of the plays that go your way and you get some momentum behind you, it could be a completely different storyline we'd be talking about right now. DeJuan Mathis, he's got a bright future as a Georgia Bulldog. He can play at this level, and I think he can play very efficiently at this level. Our big challenge right now is we just have a juggernaut of a schedule here early in the season with Auburn and then Tennessee and then Alabama. You've got to be ready to go. Those aren't the easiest circumstances to learn under for sure.
Well, I certainly agree with Z on DeJuan's performance last week. It was kind of 1 step forward and 2 steps back in that first half with our offense. 11 first half penalties and many of those on the offensive side, and it just kind of drains you when you do something good or you do something right, and then it's negated with a mistake like that. So I think DeJuan's going to be all right. He's still kind of getting his sea legs under him at this point as far as this level of college football, and it was great to have a stabilizing force like Stetson Bennett last week to come off the bench and really guide the team to that win.
All right, great job, men. Thank you. We're just getting started with our Napa Tailgate Show, taking you up to kickoff tonight at 7:30 under the lights of Sanford Stadium. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How. Tony Schiavone is the producer, engineer of this broadcast. Zach Jewell is our studio producer. Young Jay Black engineers here on our Scana stage outside the bookstore. Coming up next, he is as vibrant a personality as he was a running back. One of the Bulldog Nation's all-time favorites joins us in 2 minutes on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Napa Know-How. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free 1-day shipping and over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Make your first play of the season a smart one. Get a fast and easy sports physical right around the corner from Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. With 27 locations offering extended hours and most open 7 days a week, you can book online to get in, get out, and get on your way to a championship year. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to schedule a sports physical today. Patient care services provided by Piedmont Healthcare. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. One stop to better.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
I started looking into what a divorce might look like, but the process is confusing. I have so many questions, and I feel so alone.
This is Lee Merriweather. While this is your first divorce, we've been through thousands. We'll guide you through the divorce chaos by giving you options and recommendations. We even offer a free phone consultation with one of our attorneys.
This is Bob Tharp. You have questions. Now there's one place to find the answers you need. Merriweather and Tharp, with offices throughout Atlanta, helping clients through difficult times.
1545 Peachtree Street, 678-879-9000. TheAtlantaDivorceTeam.com.
I saved big money with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, so I finally bought that new set of golf clubs. Watch out, Fairway. Here I come.
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big with Progressive, but your other expenses won't just disappear. Are those clubs going to help you when the hot water heater dies? Also, it sounds like your money is better spent on golf lessons.
Time to go shoot the course record.
No, but maybe time for a reality check. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's game day for the Dogs.
Throw into the end zone. Touchdown Pickens. Touchdown Pickens. Back right corner.
Let's rejoin the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
I formation for Georgia. 1st and 10 from the 32. Durham and D'Amico Goodman, the two receivers to the right. Toss it to Noshawn Marino. Runs to the middle of the line. Hesitates. Breaks the tackle. Noshawn 45, 50, 45, 40, 35. Nobody's going to catch him. Noshawn, touchdown! 68 yards. Noshawn Marino.
2008 at LSU. Noshawn busted a 68-yard move on the Tigers in Death Valley to help the Dogs to a 52-38 triumph. Today, Georgia hosts the Auburn Tigers in our first game of the season between the hedges. And now on the Napa Tailgate Show, here's our Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Well, we welcome to the show Noshawn Marino, who really had an exciting career at Georgia. He was a flashy runner and a very good runner, a very tough runner. He gained over 2,700 yards at Georgia in his career, made all SEC twice, and then went on to a great career with the Denver Broncos and now living in Denver. Noshawn, we want to talk about that big game against Auburn here between the hedges, 2007, the blackout game. What do you recall about that game?
Yeah, you know what? That was a exciting night. I remember the most about that night. I mean, we came out first. It was all a surprise. We had an idea we might come out in all black, but we didn't really know. So we were like, you know what? All right, we might not. It was a crazy night, actually. It was awesome.
You went out and warmed up in your usual jerseys, and you didn't know for sure until you came back in the locker room, and when you did, saw those black jerseys, and there was bedlam. Well,
oh, man, we saw those black jerseys. And in fact, I guess the fans didn't really know either because we came out and warmed up in other jerseys as well, so they didn't really know, right? And then we go inside, and then we got all of our black unis waiting there. I mean, I was ready for the game. Of course, that made me super juiced up for the game.
Now, Noshawn, you really flashy career. You just could make that tough run, but you looked great doing it. How did you develop that flashy running style?
I wouldn't call it too flashy, right? I don't know. I was just very motivated and excited, right, to just be out there playing with my teammates, playing in front of the great crowds that we had out there, and just wanted to compete, you know. So I just ran strong, I ran as hard as I could, not knowing whenever the last snap could ever be, you know. That's what I always kept in the back of my head, like, hey, just go out there and give it my all and everything, and go out there and have fun. At the end of the day, everything else will take care of itself. We had some great backs, we had some great players on our Georgia team, so it was just a fun atmosphere and fun to watch them go out there and compete and be successful as well.
Well, what are you doing these days?
Well, right now I got into real estate. I'm an agent out in Denver, so I've been doing it for about a year and a half. Really enjoy meeting new people and helping out some of the guys over at the facility, at the Bronx facility, and just doing something different. So, but it's definitely exciting.
Well, your calling card is your name, and the fact that you played with the Broncos, does that get you in a lot of doors?
I mean, it definitely helps out. But at the end of the day, that do the job, right? But I just enjoy, at the end of the day, helping people and meeting new people, and then getting them into the dream house, or selling, and getting them into another house. So I mean, it's different ways in real estate you can make money. I mean, so many different ways. It's a cool little gig.
Well, it's nice to visit with you, and we look forward to having you come home someday. And appreciate your time. Thank you for your time today.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right. Noshan Marino, just as exciting, Neil, in Denver as he was in Athens. Just a popular player wherever he's been.
Yep. Popular guy indeed. All right, that was the Soulja Boy game, that blackout game. Oh, and remember your old buddy Vern Lundquist up there dancing, right? The players are all dancing on the sideline. Vern's up in the CBS booth dancing along.
With Danielson.
Yeah, with Danielson, that's right. All right, Lauren, very good. Thank you. Thanks to Noshan for taking the time there. Georgia fans, today our radio crew is wearing the Nike long sleeve half-zip pullover from the UGA bookstore. This pullover is perfect to layer up for a cool fall temperature like we have today and we're going to have tonight under the stars. And here's a bonus for you. If you're in Athens today at the UGA bookstore from 5 until 7, Garrison Hurst and Vince Dooley will be signing autographs. And join us next Saturday when Coach Dooley will be back, along with Clint Bowling signing in the store before the Tennessee game. Shop the UGA bookstore before and after every home game for the best selection of Bulldog clothing and gifts from Nike, Peter Millar, Tommy Bahama, Southern Tide, and many more. The UGA bookstore, located next to Sanford Stadium, is open every day and online 24/7 at UGAbookstore.com. The UGA bookstore, it's where the dogs shop. Today marks the 125th meeting between Georgia and Auburn, and Eric Zier has a bevy of opinions about our Bulldogs offense as we head into a top 10 SEC clash with the Tigers today. Z returns in less than 10 minutes on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
I'm John Addison, a lifetime Bulldog fan, Georgia graduate, and the chairman of distribution for Primerica, the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. Primerica is a Main Street company for Main Street families. We help people from all walks of life achieve their goals and dreams by offering common sense financial solutions to today's challenges. As a Georgia-based company, Primerica is proud to continue to sponsor Georgia football. Go Dogs!
Dealing with constant changes, not easy. Letting go of my inner perfectionist, not easy. But crossing a few things off my financial to-do list, surprisingly simple.
Regent's tools and advice make it easy to manage your money. From podcasts and webinars to budget and savings calculators, we'll help you find your financial comfort zone.
Those few little financial tweaks have made a big difference.
Check off some financial to-dos at regents.com/brave the beginning. Regents Bank, member FDIC, official bank of the SEC.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Hump Day, Taco Day, or any other day, every day is the day to save at the Toyota Today's the Day sales event, where you can get a great deal on the entire Toyota lineup until November 2nd. Contact your local Toyota dealer today.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2020 Toyota RAV4. Offer valid through November 2nd, 2020. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $1,667 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
When you are the official sponsor of the comeback, adding a few feet to a drive matters.
First down!
So does shaving a tenth of a second off a lap. Top-rated surgery, physical therapy, and motion analysis by the sports medicine team at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta helps teen athletes not only prevent injuries, but heal faster and return stronger, ready to win. Our more than 20 orthopedic and sports medicine locations are ready to assist your athlete's comeback. To learn more, visit choa.org/sportsmed.
Welcome back to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
In the pocket, nowhere to go. We got a sack him. We sack him for a big loss, and the ball goes over on downs.
Here again is Neil Hondo Williamson.
Now it's time for this week's Power Profile presented by Georgia Power. This week we recognize Hodge Rivers, who's a childhood cancer survivor and participant at Camp Sunshine. Today we're speaking with his mother, Jennifer. Jennifer, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Tell us about Hodge and how much he enjoys going to Camp Sunshine.
He had an absolute blast. I mean, I think when I asked him if he wanted to go back, he honestly wanted to probably spend the entire summer at Camp Sunshine. We're super excited to participate and to spread the word about Camp Sunshine and just childhood cancer and the importance of supporting these organizations that mean so much to the kids.
Can you speak a little bit more on that? Why is that so important?
Twofold, really. I think from a funding standpoint, childhood cancer is one of those things that you don't think about unless you're thrust into that world. And out of naivety, I had no idea that childhood cancer funding was so limited. There are so many types of childhood cancer, and really governmental funding has never been what it needs to be. And so you have a lot of small organizations specifically focused on research so that the drugs used on children minimize the long-term side effects, because right now kids are being treated with medicines that are intended for adults. And then, of course, Camp Sunshine comes in, and they provide normalcy for these children that are going through horrendous circumstances in some cases. But it's a great, relief for them to be normal and to be around kids that understand what it's like to have cancer.
Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing your story with us and Hodge's story with us today. We're really excited, and let's get the Dogs a big win today against Auburn.
Yeah, go Dogs.
In honor of their continuing efforts to improve the lives of children battling cancer, Georgia Power is proud to donate $500 to Camp Sunshine. Dogs fans, do you know an individual or organization making a positive impact in the community? If so, visit GeorgiaDogs.com. Click on Power Profiles to learn how you can submit their story. If selected, they may be recognized during an upcoming Georgia football game. I'm Cabell Philpott. Power Profiles are presented by Georgia Power. Power on, Georgia, and go Dog.
Here we go with a sweep and a reverse. Hammond's going to be caught in the end zone. Ball came out. He's trying to pick it up, and all the action falls over the back line of the end zone. Arkansas tried to run a sweep reverse, and the ball came out of the hands of T.J. Hammonds. They just kept going backwards from the 14. They ended up in the end zone. The ball over the back line of the end zone in the scramble for it. It's going to be a safety for Georgia.
Weird play call by Arkansas, but what the heck? We got 2 points out of it and the ball, right? Yeah. We're delighted you've deigned to accompany us on our radio journey for tonight's kickoff. Number 4, Georgia versus 7th-ranked Auburn. Scott Howard, Eric Zier, Lauren Smith, and your old buddy Hondo on the radio here on the Napa Tailgate Show from the Scana stage. And now presented by Primerica. Primerica, the only company positioned to make the maximum impact on Main Street families. Here's Lauren Smith.
Our Primerica Player of the Week, junior punter Jake Camarda, a native of Norcross, Georgia. He booted the ball 7 times for an average of 49.9 with a net of 47 yards. Camarda dropped 5 inside the 20-yard line and had only a single touchback. One of the highlights during the Georgia's 37-10 road win over Arkansas was a 63-yarder. Our thanks to Mike Burris, John Addison, and all the fine folks at Primerica who helped us recognize an outstanding Bulldog player each week.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Bulldog Sports Network. All right, a quick peek at some games in action in Tuscaloosa. Alabama leads Texas A&M. They are midway through the second quarter. Crimson Tide on top 21-14. In Chestnut Hill, 12th-ranked North Carolina holds a 1-point edge on Boston College. It's 14-13 Tar Heels there. Number 15, Cincinnati, is at home and leads South Florida 7-0. They are in the second quarter. Oh, that BC North Carolina score was mid-second quarter as well. Cincinnati, South Florida approaching the half. Number 17, Oklahoma State leads Kansas 24-0. They are late in the first half as well. And Kansas State is leading Texas Tech 14-0. They are late in the first half. Finals from earlier today. 3rd-ranked Florida walloped South Carolina 38-24. Will Muschamp now 1-4 against the school that he coached before he went to the Gamecocks. Number 9, Texas fell today. TCU beat them again. Man, they have the Longhorns number, huh? 33-31. The Horned Frogs win that game. Number 21, Tennessee over Missouri, 35-12. Tennessee checking into Sanford Stadium next week. All right, this is the Napa Tailgate Show. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How. Eric Zier standing by to share his thoughts on Georgia's quarterback situation, the effectiveness of our run game, and more in 2 minutes. Dogs are back in Athens versus a longtime rival Auburn tonight right here on the Bulldog Sports Network.
The relief on the hot water heater failed. Pouring gallons of water into your finished basement. The drainage hose on your dishwasher breaks. Sending an endless stream of water onto your kitchen and living room hardwood floors. No matter what happens in your home, the cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro will be with you every step of the way until you're back on your feet. So when fire or water damage strikes, call on ServPro to make it like it never even happened. 1-800-ServPro and ServPro.com.
Glory! Glory to old Georgia! The dogs are unleashed, and so are the savings. Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. So sing, cheer, and put on your red and black in honor of our team. Celebrate the Dogs' journey to glory this football season with Scana Energy by calling 877-GO-SCANA or visiting scanaenergy.com to save.
You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, brought to you by Indeed. If finding a high-impact hire is a goal for your business, use Indeed. No long-term contracts and lots of great candidates at Indeed.com/high-impact.
Every Georgia fan knows that playing at home is an advantage, but when you're ready for a home, the competition can be fierce. A verified approval letter from Rocket Mortgage can help. It tells sellers that your offer is good, helping your bid compete with cash buyers and giving you an edge in the home buying market. So, when your finances need a home field advantage, Rocket can. Get started at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket Mortgage, proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information appraisal and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's game day for the Dogs.
Throw into the end zone. Touchdown Pickens. Touchdown Pickens. Back right corner.
Let's rejoin the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
Goal to go from the 7. Bennett in an empty set. Throws it softly to the goal line. Touchdown the tight end Fitzpatrick. Caught it right on the goal line. Just spun his way into the end zone for the score. 7-yard touchdown strike for Bennett. His second TD pass of the half.
Coach Munkin dialed up a great play. We had gotten certain looks that we wanted. And, we talked at halftime, and if we got a certain look, he was going to hit it on me. And he did, and I just dove for the end zone, and it was an indescribable feeling.
That's sophomore tight end John Fitzpatrick first gathering in and then relishing his first career college touchdown reception. Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show. Time now for a Georgia offense update brought to you by UPS. Working together to achieve great things like the Bulldogs? That's problem solving. Visit UPS.com to learn more. Official logistics partner of Georgia Athletics. And back to the Dogs quarterback issue as we prepare for a 7:38 kick against 7th-ranked Auburn.
Well, it's a lot more important how we play around him and how we support him, because whoever's able to do that the best and get the most out of the people around them is probably going to be the guy that moves the ball and produces. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. If that's one guy, if that's two guys, we're not putting ourselves in a pigeonhole and saying we can only have one quarterback.
Let's hear more from Coach Smart. Interesting take here on the short-term versus long-term play of players getting reps.
We're trying to look at our entire roster and say, okay, how are we going to be the best we can be in week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down the line? Because there's some guys on our team that are going to be better down the line than maybe the guy in front of them, but the only way they're going to get there is through playing.
I'm sitting here waving to the Redcoat Marching Band that's walking by in front of it. It's always great to see them. Hey, great, good kids. Z, this summer, DogNation.com quoted Coach Smart regarding the loss of spring practices. He said, quote, "It's going to affect the quarterback more than anything, in my opinion. There's no substitute for reps," unquote. So, Eric Zeier, based on that and what we saw last week, I want you to play batch game and fill in the blank. Reading between the lines, if I had to guess who will start tonight, I think...
Well, when you hear that quote, you would tend to think that hey, we've got to go play the guy that gives us the best long-term potential to win. That may lead you to think that it's a Dwan Mathis or maybe a JT Daniels. But there's one problem with that. You've got to win today against a very talented Auburn team. You've got Tennessee next week. It is a balancing game. I think that Stetson Bennett actually is the guy that starts tonight because we have to go in and play well. And he earned the right to get another opportunity this time between the hedges. He was a calming influence on this offense. He can make every throw that you need to make. He really understands this offense. He does a good job with protection, gets us into the right plays. He can elevate the play of those around him, as we saw last week. So, listen, I think long-term, we've got a lot of different options in who we see playing in games 8, 9, and 10 this year. Maybe somebody different than right now, but these games early in this season are so critical. They are such big games against such talented teams. I think right now Stetson Bennett gives us the best chance to win.
All right, turning to the ground game, just fair to Midland in Fayetteville.
All our backs got the ability to make people miss. They've got to do it at a higher level. We got to block much better on the second level in terms of our receivers, cutoff blocking and turning a couple 10, 12-yard runs into bigger runs, which we missed opportunities there. And we got to move people up front a little better. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it takes to be able to run the ball.
There's Coach Smart. And I thought Zamir's second-half performance might have been overlooked a little bit. Zeus toted the mail 9 times for 62 yards and a TD after the break. Thoughts on Zamir and James Cook and the rest of the RB position group, please, Eric Zeier.
Yeah, I think when you say fair to Midland in the running game, I thought that's really what it was. I think we got better and we got stronger as the game progressed. I think Zamir got a whole lot more comfortable there in the second half. The first half of last week looked very much to me like Zamir looked throughout last season up until the Sugar Bowl, where his head was down, vision looked to be a little bit limited. It wasn't making the agile cuts as the game got going, and he got into the second half and really got into the rhythm of the football game. You could see him running more the way he ran in the Sugar Bowl. Definitely not a whole lot of help. We didn't get a great push again as the game wore on. We started to. We held the football for an awful long time, but felt very much like last year. We were challenged getting to the edge. The 1 or 2 times we did get outside of containment, had some pretty good runs, but I thought it was an average ground game at best last week. And if we want to win these football games the way we're built, we have to be able to run the football better. I do think, though, we got much, much better as the game progressed last week.
All right, well, last week in Auburn's 29-13 victory over Kentucky, the Wildcats tore through the Tigers in the first half, running up 120 yards on the ground. As one of the AL.com writers noted this week, the second half was a different story, as the Cats averaged only 1.7 yards per carry after the break. Is it necessary to get to the Auburn defense early, lest we risk Kevin Steele's infamous adjustments clamping us down late?
Yeah, I think it is. And you go back and watch the tape or the game from last week when you watch Auburn and Kentucky, and Auburn did. Auburn made some adjustments there in the second half that really put the clamps down on Kentucky. Early in that football game, Kentucky did a great job of getting to the edge and breaking out a couple of big runs. That almost entirely got eliminated in the second half. If the Dogs come out and we have a first half the way we had last week, and we get behind this Auburn team, they're good. They're too good on offense, too explosive. They're too careful with the football behind Bo Nix. In this defense of Auburn, they're going to get stronger and better as the season progresses as well. So really critical today to start fast.
All right, thanks, Z. Well done. Another stat for Georgia fans to mull over as we prepare to go to war with the Tigers at 7:38 tonight. The Dogs' offense started on Arkansas's 24 and 43-yard lines on 2 scoring drives. Plus, Eric Stokes scored on a 30-yard pick six. Defense and special teams were especially helpful to UGA's scoring efforts last week. It's a top 10 showdown between the hedges and under the stars. Number 4 Georgia and number 7 Auburn go mano a mano tonight here on the Bulldog Sports Network.
This is head coach Kirby Smart. It's my job to coach the fundamentals of football and prepare my guys for the future. Well, my friends at Southeast Mortgage are preparing you for your future by becoming a homeowner. Every Bulldog deserves a home. If you're in the market to purchase or refinance, I trust Southeast Mortgage to provide the best experience and get it done. Visit southeastmortgage.com/UGA to get pre-approved for your home loan today. Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Southeast Mortgage of Georgia Incorporated, NMLS, number 103956, Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 6578.
Hi, Georgia fans. I'm Scott Howard here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business. You've got to make more happen, whether they're in Athens, Georgia, or on the other side of the world, globally or locally. UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More. Made easy. UPS, official logistics company of Georgia Athletics.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Dealing with constant changes, not easy. Letting go of my inner perfectionist, not easy. But crossing a few things off my financial to-do list, surprisingly simple.
Regions tools and advice make it easy to manage your money. From podcasts and webinars to budget and savings calculators, we'll help you find your financial comfort zone.
Those few little financial tweaks have made a big difference.
Check off some financial to-dos at regions.com/brave the beginning. Regions Bank, member FDIC, official bank of the SEC.
With so many new pet owners, Kezia's Grooming can't keep up.
Kezia's Grooming? Sorry, we're booked solid through the weekend. I can give you a call back, though, if something opens up.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
In the pocket, nowhere to go. We got a sack him. We sack him for a big loss, and the ball goes over on downs.
Here again is Neil Hondo Williamson.
Nix in the pocket, nowhere to go. We got to sack him. We sack him for a big loss, and the ball goes over on downs. Trayvon Walker got the sack. No timeouts, 1:39 to go. The Dogs will run out the clock and capture the Eastern Division Championship.
The triumph on the Plains last November not only sent our Dogs to the SEC title game for the third straight season, but was also our third consecutive win over the Tigers. Dogs improved their series lead with Auburn to 60 victories, 56 losses, and 8 ties. Now on our Napa Tailgate Show, here's our Lauren Smith. Lauren.
Thank you, and we welcome the J. Reed Parker Director of Athletics, Greg McGarity. Greg, first home game. Has it gone smoothly in getting ready to kick off against Auburn here between the hedges today?
Yeah, Lauren, our staff has just done a phenomenal job getting Sanford Stadium ready. The social distancing display, the field is immaculate. We're ready to go and can't wait to invite 20,000 or so fans into Sanford Stadium today.
Well, Greg, we're underway, and we know there could be a hiccup. There could be a backlash. We certainly hope not. But what are the athletic directors and commissioners think you're saying? Let's double our efforts to make sure we follow the same procedure, make sure we don't have a slip-up?
Absolutely, Lauren. Games could be canceled as late as Friday because there's a Thursday round of testing. If things got a little out of sorts there, the game could be canceled on Friday. So those are always things you keep your fingers crossed that you can get to Thursday and be clear Thursday to play. But the hope of the conference is to be able to play 10 games. Each school play 10 games this season. That's a tall task, but I'm confident we're off to a great start and be able to accomplish that goal.
How does it feel to you playing Auburn so early? This is the earliest we've played Auburn since 1892. That game was in February, but since that time, the game shifted into the fall and deep into the fall, and it's been a November game forever.
Well, Lauren, the pandemic changed everything. The unexpected is to be the expected, because things are just not normal. This is really supposed to be week 5 in the season. So our first home game in October. It's a beautiful night. Trees are starting to turn, and a little bit unusual, but we got a beautiful day, and certainly we'll have a great crowd today, and it'll just be a great game.
Greg, we lost a former Georgia letterman just in the last 48 hours. Bill Bradshaw, who was on our athletic board for many years, passed away. So I know you knew Bill. He was a longtime member of the athletic board, played for Coach Eves in high school, and was a passionate advocate of Coach Eves. So we're going to miss old Bill, and certainly appreciate his great contributions over the years to the University of Georgia.
Well, our condolences to his family, as well as President Moorhead's mom, who passed away earlier, and the services will be Monday afternoon. But, President Moorhead won't be today, but certainly I can assure you he'll be glued to the TV or radio or what have you watching the game. But he, as well, is in all of our thoughts and prayers as they deal with the loss of Mrs. Virginia Moorhead.
Well, I remember when Billy Payne was signed by Coach Dooley, Bill and Carolyn Bradshaw hosted the signing party at their home in Atlanta. That's a memorable time for me. It was just such an exciting time. Billy's parents were there, Porter and Mary. A great moment in Georgia history. Greg, thanks for being with us. And as we go, we'd like to say hello to you not anywhere listening. Nick Chubb, boy, he's really starting great. And that's good news. Thomas Davis got in game last week again with the Redskins, his third team. Came back from 3 ACL injuries on the same knee. I have to ask, is there anybody who wants to play football more than that guy?
He's crazy, isn't he?
And then we don't want to forget Matt Stafford and his wife, Mary Beth, have donated. Matt Stafford and
Kelly
has I forgot his wife's name. Kelly. Yeah. Big contribution, 7-figure gift. We want to thank Matthew. That's really the ultimate in giving back. And a lot of quarterbacks are giving back. We're waiting on a check from Eric Znaier.
Keep waiting, Lord. All right, thanks very much, and thanks to Greg McGarity for taking the time with us. Bulldogs fans, tune in tomorrow night at midnight on WSB TV Channel 2 to catch this season's first episode of Kirby Smart All Access. This week, you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at the equipment staff's planning and preparation headed into this unprecedented season. I think I'm reading the wrong card here. I am. Do you have another one, Jay? We're going to read that one when we come back. The voice of the dog, Scott Howard, will have a call for you along with Eric Znaier and Chuck Dowdle tonight. I'll try to get my act together on the right card because the first Kirby Smart Access was last week. Scott's next as we give you all the info we have on number 4 Georgia versus number 7 Auburn. Next on the Bulldog Sports Network.
From the farmer's field that produces your food to the football field where your home team plays, Georgia Farm Bureau is committed to helping Georgia communities thrive. Georgia Farm Bureau provides peace of mind to families through home, auto, and life insurance with affordable coverage and fast claim services. By insuring with Georgia Farm Bureau, you're making an investment in Georgia agriculture, Georgia farmers, and Georgia families. With more than 150 offices in the state, Georgia Farm Bureau is always the home team.
Everybody remembers the amazing light show last year when we ran the Fighting Irish out of Sanford Stadium that made Georgia the envy of college football. I'm Kenny Mullins, business manager for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Every light in Sanford Stadium was installed by an IBEW electrician. We also light up the practice facility and many other buildings on campus. Learn more about the IBEW at IBEW613.org. Go Dogs!
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh?
Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
If you like extra cash, the Kroger Rewards MasterCard is the card for you. You'll earn 5% cash back on the first $2,500 you spend. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
It's game day, and the dogs are ready to eat.
And it is caught! Touchdown! Money time!
Let's rejoin the Napa Tailgate Show.
Frank's in the shotgun and ready. Takes the snap. Play fake. Pulls that ball back out. Throws. Intercepted. LeCount at the Arkansas 47. Weaving his way back downfield. Richard's got a convoy. They're going to tackle him from behind around the 15.
The first of 2 interceptions for Richie LeCount last week at Arkansas. In the event you've lost count, that gives LeCount 4 picks in his last 2 games. Richie stole 2 Baylor passes in January's Sugar Bowl. We welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show the voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard. And Scott, as Coach Smart likes to call him, Rat Trap LeCount, is an interesting case. He's logged a ton of plays for the Dogs now over his 3 seasons plus, but Coach Smart has been on him equally as much over the 3 years. But what we saw last week and what we saw really in the second half of last year, I think, is that he has rounded into the kind of player that we all thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think Richard's relationship with Kirby is blossoming and growing. I remember when he was a freshman here, and it was a little trying at times just because of he was trying to learn his way, and it wasn't necessarily going his way. But boy, he has really turned into a fine player, a senior from Liberty County High School in Riceboro, Georgia, and preseason All-American on some lists and All-SEC, and I think he's earning those accolades as we watch him play here in this season, and certainly he did last season as well. But game 1 was very nice. 2 picks for him. He's one of the leading tacklers on the team. He's turned into quite the player.
Well, back between the hedges for the first time in 45 weeks. Only 22,000 expected in the limited seating Sanford Stadium tonight.
Certainly wish we could have 93,000 there, but we won't be able to do that. So we'll do the best we can with the crowd we got, and we'll need them to be loud. I thought that Arkansas's group was good and loud.
There might be more security folks here tonight than fans. I mean, I see a lot of folks in red shirts right now inside the stadium, and I'm not sure what their enforcement rules are going to be tonight, but the seats are all spread out throughout the stadium, upper deck, the middle deck, lower deck. The band's going to have a lot of space across the way in the northeast section of the stadium, and it'll be all right. The one question, Neil, I think I had more than any this week, people wondering what the light-up Sanford will look like at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I mean, we won't have 93,000 in here to light it up. We'll have 20-something thousand in here. So people are really getting into that, and they enjoy being in the stadium for night games, but it's not going to be quite that effective tonight just because you don't have the personnel in the building.
It is just going to be so interesting and different indeed. And all those extra security people, I think those are the people who didn't get tickets for this game and volunteered to be security. I certainly did that at the Fox Theater all through high school and college.
They've all got temperature things and holsters on their hip. So they'll be flashing that temperature gun.
Yeah, and I was
thermometer gun.
I was never security at the Fox Theater. We've all seen my physique. I was an usher. Okay.
We still had a flashlight, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, and we hope the Dogs can jump out to a better start against 7th-ranked Auburn than we did against Arkansas last Saturday.
Yeah.
Coach, give me your thoughts on that first half. I know you're not happy with the penalty.
Hell no. Terrible penalties. Lethargic all over the field. Don't got any rhythm on offense. We're not hitting any plays. Every time we hit something, we self-destruct with stupid penalties.
I just had to spring that on you without letting you know it was coming.
Hell no. I love it. We should play that every week. I love it.
Very good. All right, Scott, thanks. Looking forward to your call tonight along with Eric Zier and Chuck Dowdle. As Barney would say, Our special teams were super-duper special last week. Kevin Butler is standing by to talk Camarda, Podlesny, and more. Georgia and Auburn, drink will flow and blood will spill at 7:38 on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Napa know-how. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping and over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Hump Day, Taco Day, or any other day, every day is the day to save at the Toyota Today's the Day sales event, where you can get a great deal on the entire Toyota lineup until November 2nd. Contact your local Toyota dealer today.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2020 Toyota RAV4. Offer valid through November 2nd, 2020. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $1,667 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Georgia football is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
I'm John Addison, a lifetime Bulldog fan, Georgia graduate, and the chairman of distribution for Primerica, the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. Primerica is a Main Street company for Main Street families. We help people from all walks of life achieve their goals and dreams by offering common sense financial solutions to today's challenges. As a Georgia-based company, Primerica is proud to continue to sponsor Georgia football. Go Dogs!
Hi, Georgia fans. I'm Scott Howard here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business. You've got to make more happen, whether they're in Athens, Georgia, or on the other side of the world. Globally or locally, UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More. Made easy. UPS, official logistics company of Georgia Athletics.
We're counting you down to kickoff for the inside track on today's game.
28, 20, 10, 5, give him 6, touchdown!
Here's more from the crew on the Napa Tailgate Show.
Snap, hold, kick away, towards the uprights, and good! Way to go, Jack. There's his first one, and that ends the half.
Jack's a great kicker, and he came through camp and kicked the ball really, really well. And, Jack deserves that spot, and he deserves to be out there kicking right now, so I'm happy for Jack.
Podlesny with the 38-yard field goal at the end of the first half, and one of the heroes of last Saturday's victory, Georgia punter Jake Camarda, commenting on it. Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show. Neil Hondo Williamson joined now on the Scana stage by one of the two greatest kickers in college football history as designated by the all-time All-American team last year. This look at today's kicking game with Kevin Butler is presented by Allstate. Protecting you has no offseason. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Is that the best game of my career? Honestly, I'm honestly not sure. I don't really keep track with stuff kind of like that. I kind of walked off the field just really happy. We got the win, and I'm really happy when we win games.
Well, if that wasn't the best game of his career, I'm not sure what was. Kevin Butler with us now. And Kevin, in the first half, Arkansas's average starting field position after punts was the 6-yard line. Jake was really nothing short of amazing.
Well, it was textbook punting, punting 101. What you do when you don't punt for distance is you punt for field position. And he stuck Arkansas back in their own field every time, and really just kind of, that does get demoralizing. Jake said that it wasn't his biggest game, but I also heard the first question that day, which about, do you know what your handicap in golf was? And he almost sounded the same way, saying, well, I'm not really sure. I just like playing golf. And, hey, if he loves playing football, I hope he performs like that every week. Hondo, that was a game changer. It really was, especially the way our offense struggled. He just kept giving our defense the go-ahead to keep your ears tucked and go after them, and that worked, and that kept Georgia in the game the first half, no doubt.
No doubt. quite spectacular by Jake Camarda, 49.9-yard average with 5 punts down inside the 12-yard line, and the SEC Special Teams Player of the Week acknowledgement for his efforts. But Jake wasn't alone, Kevin. You've got the Gunners played really well, and Jack Podlesny, 2 for 2 on field goal attempts. 5 of his 6 kickoffs were down for touchbacks, and the only Razorbacks return netted the Hogs a paltry 10 yards.
Yeah, it was another compliment to the offense. I mean, Pod got out there, and I think we're getting to learn how to say his name correctly, which is good. And he's deservingly so of that honor because he had a great game last week. Anytime we can keep that kickoff out of the end zone, which Rodrigo got us used to for 4 years, that's a huge play. And really what it all boils down to, Hondo, is that hidden yardage. The average kickoff return for Georgia last week was 45 yards, and Auburn has a 32-yard average coming into this game. So the more we can knock that thing out of the end zone, that limits Auburn to another explosive play, and really it goes the same way on the punt. So Georgia had some good return yardage last week. Auburn had 0 yards on returning the punt last week. Not too many punts, but when they did, they don't have anything explosive. Georgia has to make sure today we make sure they're not explosive.
All right, typically modest of the great Kevin Butler saying that Rodrigo got us used to it when really it was our kicker from 1981 to 1984 who got us used to those bombs going out of the end zone.
That's when we could put helium in the balls, guys.
Jeff Dantzler's looking at me going, Rex was pretty good, too. Yeah,
Rex was great, too.
Alan Levitt was pretty good, too. I get it.
I was trying to fill Rex's shoes. That's all I was trying to do.
That's fantastic. All right, thanks, Kevin. Good job, as usual. Before we run, let us not fail to mention the Georgia special teams also rang up 57 punt return yards and turned in 2 kickoff returns for a total of 91 yards. A splendid day for the Dogs. Eric Zier went 2-1-1 in his career at Georgia against Auburn. Z will share his desires in 2 minutes on the Bulldog Sports Network.
In football, it's important to call the right play. In life, it can be even more important to make the right call, especially regarding termite protection. To protect my home, I call the unbeatable combination for termite protection, Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. Discover how affordable it is to protect your home with the Centricon system. Make the right call. Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
From the farmer's field that produces your food to the football field where your home team plays, Georgia Farm Bureau is committed to helping Georgia communities thrive. Georgia Farm Bureau provides peace of mind to families through home, auto, and life insurance with affordable coverage and fast claim services. By insuring with Georgia Farm Bureau, you're making an investment in Georgia agriculture, Georgia farmers, and Georgia families. With more than 150 offices in the state, Georgia Farm Bureau is always the home team.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
This is head coach Kirby Smart. It's my job to coach the fundamentals of football and prepare my guys for the future. Well, my friends at Southeast Mortgage are preparing you for your future by becoming a homeowner. Every Bulldog deserves a home. If you're in the market to purchase or refinance, I trust Southeast Mortgage to provide the best experience and get it done. Visit southeastmortgage.com/UGA to get pre-approved for your home loan today. Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Southeast Mortgage of Georgia Incorporated, NMLS, number 103956. Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 6578.
As the head coach of Georgia Bulldogs, I know a good block when I see one. Just like Delta, as part of the Delta Care Standard, which is giving you more space by blocking all middle seats until January 6th for your safety. That's why Delta is the official airline of your Georgia Bulldogs and UGA Athletics. Go Dogs and go Delta, and keep climbing.
You're listening to Georgia football.
Over the shoulder catch at the 10, 5, touchdown right down the seam.
Now back to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Long snap count. There's the snap. It's high. They get it down and we block it. We blocked it. Catch it in the air. Here we go. Near sideline. Dominic Sanders caught the batted ball. We blocked the kick and saved the lead. Dogs ball. Sanders runs it out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
That was the 2017 SEC Championship game. What a huge play that was, man. How big was that? The Dogs exacting revenge on Auburn and winning the title for the first time in 12 years in that game. Same two teams square off tonight here from Athens. Time now to check some out-of-town score for you here on the Napa Tailgate Show. Alabama had a big second quarter and now leads Texas A&M 35-14 in Tuscaloosa. They are at the half. Also at the half, Boston College trying against number 12 North Carolina. The Tar Heels with a 21-16 lead in that one. Early third quarter, 15th ranked Cincinnati is 14-0 on South Florida. Number 17 Oklahoma State has Kansas down 31-0. They are early in the second half as well. Number 25 Memphis is losing at halftime to SMU 24-20. And let's see, Virginia Tech leads Duke 10-7. They are at the half. Also at the half, Kentucky on top of Ole Miss 21-14. And check this out, 39 seconds to play in the first half. Florida State 14, Jacksonville State 21. Ooh. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, earlier today, Florida beat South Carolina. It was Tennessee over Mizzou. And number 9, Texas fell to TCU by 2 points. Zires Desires is brought to you by Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, the fastest, easiest way to buy your next new car, truck, or SUV. Choose from the largest selection at AthensDCJR.com. Always the best deal. Always. And college game day today. Loving on my boy. You didn't see it, huh? You were playing golf?
I was playing golf, so Atlanta Country Club, we had a member, so we played early. My partner and I got off to an early start. I had to leave early, but we held on, so we won our flight. So we've got a little shootout tomorrow. So a good start to the weekend. First win is in the books. The more important win happens with kickoff here at 7:30.
No doubt about it. For those of you who didn't see, college game day today was right here in Sanford Stadium. They broadcast from here inside Sanford Stadium. Kirk Herbstreit and David Pollock and Reese Davis and Des Howard were all here, and they brought up KJ Costello's SEC record-setting performance last week for Mississippi State over LSU. And Reese Davis asked the group, whose record did he break? And Pollock got it. He was like, Eric Zire. And they talked about you for a couple of minutes there, which was
obviously short on topics today.
Well, one of them pointed out that Kirk Herbstreit's last game, you defeated Ohio State.
That's right, in the Citrus Bowl. That's right.
That is right. Very good. All right, Z, what are your desires for today?
Hondo, let's start with eliminating the penalties. If we have a start to this football game against this team, the way we played last week, it may be too big of a hole to dig out of. Have to play smart. Hopefully we've knocked off that rust. Obviously can't go out there and have a 10 penalty first half the way we did against Arkansas. Also need to win the line of scrimmage, and I'm not just talking about within the trenches. We've got to be disruptive on the outside. There's a trio of receivers for this Auburn football team. Seth Williams, Eli Stove, Anthony Schwartz, they can get after you. And with this new offensive scheme, only 91 rushing yards last week from Auburn, but the way they throw the football, they use a quick passing game really as their running games. Mm-hmm. We've got to get up, be disruptive, and take away some of those quick screen passes, the bubble screens, the jet screens. Make sure that we are rerouting these receivers, because if they get free releases, they are big, they are talented, they are fast, they can go get the football, so have to be disruptive at the line of scrimmage. On the offensive side of the ball, we have to find a way to get outside of contain. Running through in between the tackles, we continue to see single safety with defenses loading up the box. It's been extremely difficult to run between the tackles. When we can get outside and break contain, we've got running backs that can take it to the house. Have to figure that piece out today. And then finally, we've got to make Bo Nix one-dimensional. Bo Nix, not a ton of rushing yards last week. He was Auburn's leading rusher, but he's just savvy enough running the football that he keeps you honest and he keeps the chains moving. We've got to make him one-dimensional, and if we do, I think we can have a pretty good night.
34 yards on the ground for Bo Nix last week against Kentucky. Tony Schiavone, are you there? Do you have your headset on?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Hondo.
Hey.
Yes, I do. Hey, buddy.
How you doing, Tony? You took quite a shot last week.
Yeah, no, I got super kicked in the face by the Young Bucks, but I lived to talk about it, and vengeance will be mine. As a matter of fact, I would like to invite Eric Zire to be my tag team partner, if he would, and we'll go after the Young Bucks in their hometown of Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Anytime you want, you just give me the word. I'm there with you, partner.
Just make sure you make it to the match on time.
That might be a challenge.
Yes, but okay.
Very good. Well, we're glad you're all right, Tony. We were worried about you. Had to miss the show and everything.
Well, there you go. And it just coincided with Arkansas. Isn't that something?
That's incredible.
It's just amazing.
It's incredible. But that was quite a pop you took. All right. Thanks, Tony. Glad you're well. Georgia and Auburn resume the Deep South's oldest rivalry tonight. We'll get Coach Kirby Smart's scouting report on the 7th-ranked Tigers in less than 20 minutes right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
This is Hondo for Engineered Solutions of Georgia, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. If you have cracks in your interior walls, foundation walls, or water in your basement, ESOG can help you come up with a solution.
Dial 678 ESOG now.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with legendary Georgia Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Ballou.
Ken and I are teaming up to give back to the brave men and women of our military. Ken's going to donate $500 to one member of the military every Bulldog football game this season.
If you're a member of the military in Atlanta, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And somebody's going to win $500 every game.
One click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey, this is Trip Strickland at Georgia Metals, and we are so much more than metal roofing. We're steel buildings, metal fabrication, custom welding. We're everything metal. So for all your metal needs, call Georgia Metals, where quality steel matters.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Make your first play of the season a smart one. Get a fast and easy sports physical right around the corner from Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. With 27 locations offering extended hours and most open 7 days a week, you can book online to get in, get out, and get on your way to a championship year. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to schedule a sports physical today. Patient care services provided by Piedmont Healthcare. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. One stop to better. Hey Bulldog fans, Coach Smart here. My friends at Georgia United Credit Union now offer Georgia Bulldogs Visa debit cards. Now you can show your team pride everywhere you go and spend. Pick your favorite design and score yours today. Georgia United makes banking easy, friendly, and smart for busy members like myself. Attack the day with a free checking account that pays big interest. It's the smart choice. Visit at gucu.org/go dogs for important account information. Insured by NCUA. Georgia United, the official credit union of Georgia Athletics.
The Dogs play here.
Wow! Power straight ahead. Touchdown!
You're listening to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Snap to Bennett. Time in the pocket. Moves to his left. Throws. Comeback catch at the 8. Pickens. He's going to curl around and dive for the end zone. He got a touchdown in the left corner.
Sweet hookup between Stetson Bennett and George Pickens last week, giving the Bulldogs a lead they would not relinquish. Tonight, Auburn invades Sanford Stadium. The Tigers have not won at Dooley Field since 2005. Now, as the Napa Tailgate Show continues from our Scana stage, here's Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Oh, is Seth on with us?
I am here, Lauren.
Oh, my goodness. I was looking at that pretty girl walking by there.
I didn't notice her.
Seth, great to have you on with us. I'm sorry, I almost forgot what is going on. This new format under the COVID, doing a lot of recording pregame. It's a different routine. I still can't get comfortable.
Well, Seth's on live with you, so grab him, Lauren.
Seth, you wrote a book just came out in the last few months about Georgia. Kirby Smart, Attack the Day, which is a slogan he brought with him when he first came on. And it was a very nice read. I enjoyed it. How well is the book going? How is it selling?
As far as I know, they keep that under lock and key, apparently. As Lauren, you probably know, haven't been in this business, but I've heard good things. A lot of people have said they bought it and enjoyed it. Most people have said they've enjoyed it. The ones that said they didn't, I just try to ignore them. And it seems to be going well. I mainly wrote it, Lauren, so I could say that I wrote a book, and I did. But I also, of course, had ambitions to maybe take it further, and we'll see.
Well, you did a good job. You had a lot of nice, interesting interviews there. Where did you get the idea, or when did you get the idea to do this?
Triumph Books, who is a very professional, good outfit, they specialize in sports nonfiction, came to me sometime during 2018, and it was just kind of, long story short, this ended up being the best time to do it and release it. And, I didn't want it to be a cookie-cutter book of just here's a rehash of everything that happened, and I wanted it to be a little bit original, so I did a lot of original reporting. I went back and talked to former players, former coaches, Kevin Butler among them, people who've been around, people still around the program, and along with my perspective as someone who's been around day to day. And I wrote about what I think is a pivotal period in Georgia history, and that's 2015 season, from when the season before, obviously, Kirby got here, to basically now.
Well, when you write a book, you become, if you're not already such, you become something of a historian. How do you put Kirby Smart's, he's got a long time to go, we suspect, we certainly hope so. How do you put his era in perspective with Georgia's history?
I mean, I think it remains to be seen, right? Like, how did anybody have as immediate success as he did? Like, Mark Richt, if there had been a playoff, may have, because they would have both been the third seed in a playoff, and who knows what happens if Georgia plays Ohio State that year in 2002. But we know that Georgia did play Oklahoma, and they played a thriller, and we know they were one busted coverage away from winning the whole thing. The thing about it, Lauren, is the impact that he made in changing the culture so quickly, and not taking a program that was broken. I mean, it was a good program. It was a 10-win program, but they wanted it to be a championship. And I think what makes it such an interesting story is that there were so many naysayers and people that said, A, why are you firing Mark Richt? And B, why are you hiring someone who's never been a head coach before? And I'll be honest, Lauren, I was in that category. I said, be careful what you wish for, and why are you not reaching, but you don't know what you're going to get out of Kirby Smart. But talking to people around the program that very first season, even when they were 7-5, losing at home to Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt, getting blown out by Ole Miss, there was a consistency, and he was implementing things that would bear fruit over the next year. And he ended up being the right guy at the right time for Georgia.
Well, it was a good job on your part. As I say, I enjoyed reading it.
Thank you, Lauren.
And it's always tough for me to read during the fall, but the COVID enabled me to have time to read your book, and I congratulate you. Hope you sell 1 million. Attack the Day by Seth Emerson, and we go back over to Neil.
All right. Thank you, Seth, for joining us. Thank you, Lauren. Seth's got a great radio voice, man. Very good. When he said he was going to something like try to do something more, and I thought he was going to say we're going to try to turn it into a movie and have you play Kirby, Lauren, but no. Okay. Bulldogs fans, tune in tomorrow at midnight to WSB TV Channel 2 to catch the latest episode of Kirby Smart All Access. This week, you'll hear from Senior Deputy Athletic Director Josh Brooks on what went into the planning to keep fans, staff, and players safe at games this season. That's Kirby Smart All Access tomorrow night at 12 midnight on WSB TV Channel 2, or anytime next week on GeorgiaDogs.com. We'll have more, including our prediction segment, coming up next on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, you can save on red, white, or black seedless grapes. They're a juicy treat and only 99 cents a pound with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Football fans, Terrapin Beer Company, Athens' born and bred and longest-running brewery, is proud to be a part of game day and every day. Let's raise our glasses and toast our Athens team with our hometown brew. Make Terrapin a part of your game day weekend traditions. Stop by the brewery Wednesday through Sunday to sample the best beer you can drink. Please drink responsibly, and as always, 21 means 21.
You're listening to Dogs Football, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
It's not really about the tailgating or even being in the stands. It's not even really about winning or losing. It's always been about being with friends and family, making memories for tomorrow while being in the moment today. That's what Georgia football means. Are you ready? We are. Since it's different this season, and many of us can't get up to Athens, we're going to bring Athens to you. Visit harrydoghouse.com to learn how your home gating experience can become one of your best Bulldog memories.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
Counting you down to kickoff.
He goes down underneath. Big George Davis crushed.
You're listening to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
Caratan to kick it away. We block it. The ball spinning in a positive direction, but the Dogs got a big piece of it. It spins out of bounds into the Arkansas bench on the near sideline.
Zeus, he's always recognized for running the ball, but he deserved to be recognized for being on special teams and blocking his punt that got us in a good field position.
That's the other number 3 for the Bulldogs, cornerback Tyson Campbell on Zamir White's block punt last Saturday. I apologize to Scott Howard and to our listeners. I saw number 3 and kept saying to Scott, "It's Tyson! It's Tyson!" Fortunately, the fate of the nation does not hang on my ability to distinguish different players, Scott.
Well, we've got a lot of duplicate numbers, so
yes, we do.
That's understandable. I think the first 20 numbers that we have on the roster, with the exception of 0 and 1, are all duplicates.
Yeah, well, I screwed that one up for you, and I apologize. Anyway, tonight, Georgia and Auburn in a matchup of old rivals and top 10 teams. But right now, we're going to talk about other games on the Napa Tailgate Show. It's time for our predictions segment. And last week, only Lauren missed on the South Carolina-Tennessee game. Meanwhile, all 4 of us picked Virginia over Duke, as well as unanimous selections for the Bears over the Falcons. So Scott, Eric, and yours truly are 3-0, and Lauren's 2-1.
You guys didn't pick the Falcons last week?
No, we picked the Bears.
Okay. The three of us picked the Falcons.
Thank you.
But we were only kidding. All right, Lauren.
Now we see who's doctoring the books.
Yeah. Lauren.
Hey, Scott, this happens every single year.
It does. Even last year when you won, Z, didn't you win last?
No, I didn't win last year because everybody cheated. The accounting is so bad. When it comes to this, I mean, listen, it's in Hondo's hands, and you know that there's some cheating going on.
It's in Jay Black's hands usually, and he just wasn't there last week, so he didn't keep track. All right, Lauren is 1-2, Zaire and Hondo 2-1, Scott is blemishless 3-0, and today 0-3 Southern Miss at 1-2 North Texas. Scott, why don't you tell us what you think?
Well, I'm going to go with the mean green because I've seen Southern Miss play this year, and there's a reason they're winless. So I like North Texas to win that one.
Yeah, last week Southern Miss gave up 66 to Tulane. For heaven's sake. Well, North Texas surrendered 65 to SMU, but I'll take Buford High School in this one. No, give me the mean green at home. Z?
Yeah, I'm right there with you as well. It's Southern Miss just not playing very good football right now. It should be a thriller, but North Texas.
Lauren.
A thriller.
Well, it's according to kickoff, it's a lot closer than what you suggest, but I'm going to follow the leader. I'm going to take North Texas.
Okay, Navy at Air Force. Z?
Ooh, that's a pretty long trip going out there. I'm gonna pick Air Force, only because my dad was in the Army, and we don't like Navy.
We don't like Navy. Very good. All right, Lauren.
Well, let's see. I think Navy won last year. They're playing at Colorado Springs. I'm going with Air Force.
Okay, very good. My dad was in the Navy in World War II, and I will take the midshipmen. Scott?
My dad was in the Navy, but I want to know about Z's feelings about the Air Force. Do you have any feelings there if you're in the Army?
Yeah, you're kind of neutral there, right?
You're kind of neutral?
You're kind
you
of
hate
neutral.
the Navy, but you're neutral on the Air Force.
You got to beat Navy. You're
What
okay.
about the
You're
Marines?
okay with the Air Force. You like the Marines too.
Coast Guard?
It's just you're fine there too. It's just Navy. Although my grandfather was Navy as well, so I've got mixed emotions.
So the Air Force is kind of like Ole Miss. We hate Florida, we hate Auburn, we hate Tech, but Ole Miss, they're
okay.
They're okay. All right, Scott.
I think this is Air Force's first game, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I'll go with the Fighting Air Forcers.
Yeah, well, if they win tonight, they will have the nation's longest win streak, and because right now they're tied with Tennessee for that. And finally, Buffalo Bills at the Las Vegas Raiders. And Lauren, we'll let you go first on this one.
What do the bookies say, as Munson would say? Who's favored?
I don't know, Lauren.
Well, then I can't pick if you don't help me.
Throw a dart. Throw a dart. Scott, why don't you go first while Lauren labors over this pick?
I'll go with the Gruden Raiders in Vegas.
All right.
Buffalo Bills off to a hot start. I like the Bills.
I'm going Bills. Lauren?
Okay, I finally decided. I flipped the coin. I'm going with the Raiders.
With the Raiders. All right, good. Very good, men. And people are wondering, why are we picking some of these really lousy games? It's because we have a 7:30 start, and because the Pac-12 and Big Ten haven't started yet, and there are so few good games from which to choose that haven't already begun right now. Okay, very good. Thanks very much, gentlemen. This is the Napa Tailgate Show. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How. Coming up next, Coach Kirby Smart joins us with his scouting report. Number 4 Georgia versus 7th-ranked Auburn, between the hedges and under the lights on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Dogs fans want exclusive access to season previews and game day information heading into the upcoming season? Then be sure to log on to GeorgiaDogs.com to download the 2020 Georgia Football Digital Fan Guide. Get everything you need to know heading into the season at GeorgiaDogs.com.
Hi, I'm a 2020 census taker. As I walk around your neighborhood, you'll see my census bag and ID badge. We're coming by to assist anyone who hasn't completed it yet, and we'll be wearing a mask and following local guidelines for everyone's safety. We'll be asking some simple questions that will inform funds for healthcare, education, and more over the next decade. But right now is your chance to make a big difference. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
The official Georgia football game program has gone fully digital and is now free to access. The paperback game program is no longer offered, so log on to GeorgiaDogs.com/digital to get everything you need to know heading into this week's matchup against Auburn. GeorgiaDogs.com/digital.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Napa Know-How. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping on over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Get ready for kickoff at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldog gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. The UGA Bookstore is the exclusive home of the UGA 10 collection by Peter Millar. The UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus, next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
It's game day for the Dogs.
Throw into the end zone. Touchdown Pickens. Touchdown Pickens. Back right corner.
Let's rejoin the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
Godwin in motion from left to right, out of the shotgun. Give it to Fromm. He's going to hand it off to Swift. Swift's got running room. Swift by the defense. 40, 30. They won't catch him. Go, Swift, into the end zone. Touchdown! The freshman just ran it back to Philadelphia. Welcome back to the Bulldogs Tailgate Show. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon as we get ready for Georgia and Auburn, the home opener for the Bulldogs, and a couple of minutes with Coach Kirby Smart as we take a look at today's opponent, the Auburn Tigers. What jumps out at you first thing when you look at Auburn, when you looked at their game against Kentucky last week? What do you see from the Tigers?
Well, I see first thing on offense is an experienced quarterback. I mean, I compared a lot to Jake Fromm, his second season with us. He understands things. He runs the ball better than Jake, but he understands how to use the people around him. He's got a really good set of receivers, very talented special teams unit, and a defense that surprisingly, they had some new guys up front because they lost a lot of really good players, but they played really physical up front, and it stuck out to me on tape how hard they were to move inside.
For the second straight game to start this season, you're facing a team with a new offensive coordinator. Last week in Arkansas was a whole new staff, and then today it's the former Arkansas head coach that's now in his first year as the OC at Auburn. What are some of the challenges of preparation for that in that method when you're facing a new guy who's calling the plays?
Yeah, it's very unique. It seems like the first time in I don't know how many years, because I've faced Auburn so many times when I was at Alabama and Georgia. I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years, it seems like in a row, it's been Gus, and the familiarity between our defense and his offense has butted heads so many times, and this is unique because Chad is different. He's been tough to prepare for because we don't know how much of it is old Auburn and what we've always played versus new Chad. So you got all of Arkansas's tape, which is really confusing because you're watching an Arkansas team that you just played last week, and it's been hard because you got to really focus and say, okay, would he run this there? He has different personnel. He's probably got better wideouts than he had at Arkansas, but he had a really good tight end at Arkansas. So it's been a little perplexing, but we're trying to prepare for a lot and narrow in on what we get when the game starts.
Are you expecting more of a passing attack from these guys than maybe a running, which, Auburn's kind of like Georgia in that realm. They've had a tradition of running the football.
Yeah, I would say so. It wouldn't shock me at all. I mean, they've got good backs, and there's a commitment to the run at Auburn like there is at Georgia. But I would say with the quarterback and the skill players he has, there's a little bit of a pass-first mentality because they've got really good skill players.
Can you talk a little bit about those wide receivers and those skill guys and your matchups with guys like Schwartz and Williams and Stove and the rest?
Yeah, Seth Williams is a phenomenal player. He really hurt us last year. He's got great ball skills, big, physical. Schwartz, obviously the fastest guy in all of college football, and it shows up on tape. He's exceptional with the ball in his hands. They do a good job of getting the ball in his hands. Eli Stove, who's been hurt a couple times, but he's really fast. They've got good skill players.
From a defensive standpoint, is one of the keys to be physical with them at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, always. You got to win the line of scrimmage. You got to knock them back. You got to get your hands on these wide outs, and we try to do that and affect the timing so that it affects the quarterback. But when you play Auburn, it's the same thing their defense does. So it's like both of us face that style of defense daily, so you know how to prepare for it.
You touched on their defensive front a few moments ago, and you mentioned how many guys they lost. But defensively, what do they look like coming back after game one?
Big. They're really big up front, athletic at backer. KJ Britt may be one of the best players in the SEC. He's very sound fundamentally, physical. It seems like he's been there forever. He's been a really good player for them, plays good on special teams. Owens, fast, athletic. They got one of the best corners in the SEC, and McCreary. And then Big Cat is, obviously a kid that we recruited really hard that's a great athlete who's been a great pass rusher for a couple years, but he still is now.
Last question. What did you see that Kentucky was able to do with their offense against Auburn's defense last week to have some success?
Well, they did a good job of formation in them, and obviously their quarterback is a good runner, and they used him in the run game to create the extra hat, and Kentucky does a good job.
Coach, thanks for your time, and get ready for the Tigers today.
Thanks.
That's Coach Kirby Smart, and our look at the Auburn Tigers. Hondo, we'll send it back to you for more of the Bulldogs Tailgate Show.
All right, thank you, Scott. Thanks to Coach Smart. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network. Time now to check where the Dogs rank, presented by Northside Hospital. Our Bulldogs were leapfrogged, or is that leaped frog? I don't know. By the Cursed Gators in the latest AP poll, but Georgia still holds steady at number 4. The Northside Hospital Cardiovascular Institute is committed to your good health and the health of your family. Their physicians treat heart disease with the latest testing and technology. At Northside, they're all about excellence at heart. To schedule an appointment, call 404-962-6000 or visit northsidecvi.com and let the healing begin. A classic Larry Munson call is less than 10 minutes away. You won't want to miss this SEC East clinching highlight. Then at 7:30 tonight, 7:38. Actually, it's kickoff between number 4 Georgia, 7th-ranked Auburn, right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
Dogs fans in Athens, we have 2 important rules. Support local business and cheer on the Georgia Bulldogs. This season, we'd like to thank our official hometown team partners for their support of Georgia Athletics, Georgia's Cotton Farmers, Gainesville Mechanical, Homewood Suites by Hilton Athens, and Longhorn Steakhouse in Athens. Learn more about how you can support these great local partners by finding the Hometown Team Partners ad in the digital game program on GeorgiaDogs.com. Support our hometown team partners, and you'll support the Dogs.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
I'm Monty Watson, UGA alum and chairman and CEO of the Piedmont Bank. As a banker, I know numbers, and the numbers that matter most to us Georgia fans are the numbers that are on the scoreboard when the clock runs out. But in business, there's no scoreboard and the clock never stops. That's why at Piedmont Bank, banking is more than the numbers. Our business customers know they're ranked number 1, and that means we never stop helping them reimagine their businesses in Georgia and beyond. Get to know us today at piedmont.bank/UGA. And most importantly, go Dogs.
The Walton Gas Champions for Charity game is on. That means every time the Dogs win a regular season game, Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to these local charities: Camp Twin Lakes, the Salvation Army, the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And for every bowl game the Dogs win, Walton Gas will donate $5,000. Everyone wins with Walton Gas. Always low rates, always great service. Put your game face on and be a champion for charity. Vote for the charity of your choice at waltongas.com/UGA.
Welcome back to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
In the pocket, nowhere to go. We got to sack it. We sack it for a big loss, and the ball goes over on downs.
Here again is Neil Hondo Williamson.
They throw a lateral to the near side. Burke's looking to throw it downfield. He will intercept it, I think. Yeah, LeCount goes up high and comes down with a one-handed grab, intercepting at the Georgia 19-yard line.
His second pick of the afternoon last Saturday in Arkansas, senior Richard LeCount. Scott Howard, Eric Zier, Lauren Smith, Tony Schiavone, and Jay Black back with you on the Napa Tailgate Show. Oh, I'm Hondo. Auburn and Georgia, tradition, rivalry, love-hate for sure. Here's Lauren with a very special guest. Lauren?
We're happy to welcome to the show today Pat Dye Jr., and everybody would know who Pat Dye Jr. is. A great name for you, Pat. Was it hard living up to your late father's name? He was so successful as a player and coach.
Well, I think situations like that, you can look at them as a positive or a negative, an asset or a liability. I always looked at it like I had not only a great last name, but a great whole name. Taking my dad's name, and I've tried to do everything the right way in my career to honor that, and I'm certainly in the football business, as was he. And I can't tell you how much that name and that brand has helped me in terms of breaking barriers and getting in living rooms and that kind of thing when I'm recruiting potential NFL players all over the Southeast.
Well, he was certainly a great Georgia player, and then had the
greatest of success, elected to the College Football Hall of Fame as a coach at Auburn. Sort of interesting, he and Vince, who was a player at Auburn, swapped loyalties. But I think each has always had a little feeling for their alma mater. I know Pat always appreciated his time at Georgia under Coach Butts, and still has relatives here, the Slaughters. So Pat maintained ties with Athens even when he's coaching at Alabama first and subsequently Auburn. So I've always felt it was great to honor him. He came back to reunions, and that speaks highly of him.
Well, one of the things that I can tell you, Lauren, that meant a lot to Dad, and he's been honored in many ways. I mean, he's, College Football Hall of Fame, Georgia State Sports Hall of Fame, Alabama State Sports Hall of Fame, Blue-Gray Hall of Fame, Senior Bowl Hall of Fame. He's been honored a bunch of ways, but one that meant the world to him was 2013 when the University of Georgia inducted him into their very distinguished Circle of Honor, and the fact that, any lingering biases that, would have been, associated with him coaching at Auburn and having some success against Georgia, he was able to transcend those just by the person he was and the character he was, and certainly the coach he was. And that was a very proud night for him, very proud night for our family. And, I love walking into the Butts-Mehre building and seeing his name up there in the rotunda.
Well, it was certainly great for us to be able to honor him, and we'd like to thank you, Pat, for joining us today, and look forward to seeing you somewhere along the way. I know, had it not been for the virus, that I had to have that funeral for Pat in the stadium, but unfortunately you were not able to do that, but you buried him on the farm that he loved, and it was a reflection of his life and career. He's always appreciative of the outdoors.
Well, it was only fitting, Lauren, that there were maybe 40 people there, and it was almost all family. And, Dad wasn't about a bunch of fanfare and parades and things like that. And I wanted to have a public memorial, but we just haven't been able to open up. And I'm just thankful that we're playing football, and I know Dad would be thankful we're playing football. And Auburn honored him before the game the other day, and it was a great tribute. And the only sad part is it wasn't a full stadium, but the people that were there made a lot of noise and certainly appreciated Dad's legacy and everything he did at Auburn. And Dad would be the first to say that Auburn did a lot more for him than he did for Auburn. I don't know if I agree with that, but I hope it's a great game. I'll be watching closely. And Lauren, take care, and appreciate you having me on.
All right, thank you, Pat. We go back over to Neil.
All right, thank you, Lauren, and thanks to Pat Dye Jr. for joining us. Georgia and Auburn have played 124 times, and the Dogs lead the overall series 60 wins, 56 losses. There have been 8 ties. The Dogs have called checkmate 3 times in a row. A vintage Munson call from this series, 2 minutes from Mark on the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with legendary Georgia Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Ballou.
Ken and I are teaming up to give back to the brave men and women of our military. Ken's going to donate $500 to one member of the military every Bulldog football game this season.
If you're a member of the military in Atlanta, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And somebody's going to win $500 every game.
One click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Now through October 18th, you can earn 2 times the fuel points when you shop Kroger Fridays through Sundays. Just download your digital coupon. Restrictions apply.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
At BMW, we made the ultimate range of SAVs. And because each of the 7 X-Range sports activity vehicles flawlessly balance dynamic power, spacious size, and sleek design, you can choose from a fleet that fits perfectly into your life. Like the versatile and bold X1, the unbelievably powerful X3, or the luxurious X7. No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, no matter what's next, there's an X to take you there.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for great offers. Go Dogs.
Hey, Georgia Bulldogs, some of us may be cheering from home this season. Maybe you've got the big TV and game time snacks, but no room to cheer. No sweat. You've got options. When you work with Rocket Mortgage, you see all your options right up front. From down payments to closing costs, you know what fits your budget. So, if you need a home big enough for your whole team, Rocket can. Get started at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket Mortgage, proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
Look at the sugar falling out of the sky. We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose.
Georgia football history through the voice of a legend.
My God almighty, did you see what he did? You talk about a stupid miracle.
Here's another listen back to Larry Munson's greatest calls. Presented by Northside Hospital, Atlanta, with decades of experience performing both routine and complex surgeries. Northside Hospital leads Georgia in surgery innovation. Learn more at northside.com/surgery.
Crowd roars at us. 3 wideouts. Man, we've had some shots, haven't we? Snap to David Green. There he goes in the corner again, and we jump up. Touchdown! Oh, God, a touchdown! In the corner with 85 seconds. Somebody went up high. Was it Watson or Gibson? Michael Johnson up high. Michael Johnson turned around and got up in the air. We caught the ball. It's 23-21 with 85 seconds. David Green just threw it in the corner, and Michael Johnson, who was used a lot in this fourth quarter, got racked up in the air but hung on and had his foot down in there. We scored.
What a night. What a glorious night. And to be sitting there next to Muntz as he made that call, man, we were going crazy up in the booth. Scott and Larry and Dick Payne, Charles Youngs and I. Wow, just what a night. 2002, and our Dogs were on their way to our first ever SEC championship game with that triumph down at Auburn. Hey, Dogs fans, the official Georgia Bulldog game program has gone fully digital and is now free to access. The paperback game program is no longer offered, so log on to georgiadogs.com/digital to get everything you need to know heading into today's matchup against Auburn. That's georgiadogs.com/digital. Eric Zier gives us the lowdown on Georgia's defense in less than 10 minutes. You're tuned to the Napa Tailgate Show. You've got Georgia and Auburn preparing to wage battle at 7:38. Plus, our Ken Nugent Call of the Week is 2 minutes away on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Learn more at masseyferguson.us. See the newly redesigned Massey Ferguson GC 1700 and 1700 M Series today.
Thousands of locally owned Napa stores across the nation, chances are that wherever you call home, we do too. And that's why you can find us in big cities, small towns, and everywhere in between, doing what we've always done to help keep our local communities moving forward. So whether you stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, Auto Care Center, or visit us at Napa online, you can count on Napa know-how.
You're listening to Dogs Football, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
Your heart begins to heal the moment you choose Northside Hospital Cardiovascular Institute for your care. We've added a team of the nation's very best cardiovascular doctors to one of the top community hospitals in the country. With their leading expertise and the powerful resources of the Northside Network, our doctors get to the very heart of your needs. Because bringing the best possible care to Georgia is at the heart of everything we do. Northside Hospital Cardiovascular Institute. Excellence at heart.
I'm pretty sure our new house might be haunted.
What makes you say that?
The furniture is levitating. Oh, and the ghost.
Welcome home.
Yeah, that's spooky.
You know what's really scary?
Missing out on Geico for help with homeowners and renters insurance. Geico makes it easy to save a bunch.
Great! You're not sticking around, right?
The party's just getting started.
Happy Geico Week. Call today and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
We're counting you down to kickoff for the inside track on today's game.
28, 20, 10, 5, give him 6, touchdown!
Here's more from the crew on the Napa Tailgate Show.
This moment of commitment is brought to you by Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, always the home team. The University of Georgia is committed to tackling the grand challenges of our time. Our researchers are working to improve human health, create a more secure future, and build stronger communities. We're driven to making discoveries that bring solutions to improve our world for generations to come. It's more than our mission. It's more than our passion. It's our commitment.
Bennett goes under center. Stretch handoff Zamir. Sidesteps a man. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown around the left edge.
That was today's Make the Call presented by Ken Nugent. One call, that's all. Auburn opened the season last week with a 29-13 win over Kentucky. Our Dogs rallied past Arkansas 37-10, and both victors turned in better second-half performances than the first. We will match up at 7:38 here between the hedges on Dooley Field. Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show. Checking some scores for you from around the nation. Games that are finals already. Number 3, Florida rolled over South Carolina by 2 touchdowns. 9th-ranked Texas fell to TCU 33-31. Number 21, Tennessee beat up on Missouri in Knoxville 35-12. The Vols roll into Athens in a week. Games in progress. Alabama is putting it to Texas A&M 42-17. That's at the end of 3. North Carolina leads Boston College 24-16, also at the end of 3. And Virginia Tech just scored a touchdown. They lead Duke 23-14. That is late in the third quarter. And Kentucky leads Ole Miss 28-21. That is late in the third quarter as well. Midway through the third, Jacksonville State leads Florida State 24-21. All right, right now from our Scana stage, here's our Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Well, we're happy to welcome to our show today Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference. And Greg, I've been singing your praises on our first broadcast at Arkansas and with everybody I talk football with. I just feel like your leadership to get this season started and underway has been terrific, and everybody owes you a pat on the back.
Lauren, I appreciate that. A lot of people deserve credit. You know, I had to be out front. I had to be on all the calls and all the communication and speak publicly and explain our direction and our reasons for our direction. But our presidents, chancellors, athletics directors, our head football coaches, our return to activity and medical guidance task force, student athletes just spoke to the desire to play, the need to be careful, the need to make sure health and safety were prioritized. But it kept us moving forward. It provided some inspiration, and then we've been able to provide the opportunity, which was great to see last week.
But you can never take anything for granted. What are the precautions that need to be underscored moving forward?
The basic issues that are communicated to everyone around the public health domain, issues like social distancing, hand washing, masking, those are normal for us in society. And if you're attending a game, if you're gathering with friends to attend a game, all of those still matter. COVID-19 does not evaporate just because we're enthralled with an athletic contest. We have embedded health professionals. You know, Ron Corson at the University of Georgia has been great in the sports medicine and care area for a long time. The testing regimen, the care exercise when we came back, the voluntary activities back in June, all of those are in that level of precautions and points of care to support healthy competition, which has allowed us so far to achieve what we've seen.
Well, Greg, assuming that we get through all of this and they play a national championship game per usual, will there be more fans able to see the games as we move forward?
That's really going to be based on a few factors, most of which are completely out of my control. One is the public health guidance, be that at a national level, the state level, a local or campus level. And we have some base level guidelines to inform decision making around supporting fan attendance. I cannot predict whether we'll be able to continue as we are or expand the opportunity for people to attend games. What's going to be key and central is week to week to week, making sure that we stay healthy, and that gives us the best opportunity to move forward. And then when we get into the postseason, and again, you're going to be dealing first and foremost with local circumstances regarding what's allowed, and those decisions are still out there.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today and giving us your perspective in getting us to this point and hopefully to what will be business as usual. Thanks for joining us. Sorry we won't be seeing you around the league this year. Rather, you're choosing to stay home. You won't be traveling, and I know that's probably difficult for you because you do enjoy football. It is nice to walk the perimeter of the sideline, say hello to people, but the ability to see what's going on, last week, for me, I was able to watch every game. When I travel, I see one game. So just in the environment, having a better sense of what's happening is wise, and we'll keep everybody healthy, stay healthy, and just be really aware of what's happening within our games. Thanks so much, Greg Sankey, Commissioner of the Southeastern Conference. We now go back over to Neil Williamson.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Greg, for coming by. Great guy. What a really, really nice guy. Whenever I see him and talk to him, he's just terrific. You're listening to the Napa Tailgate Show. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Legendary Dogs quarterback Eric Zeier rejoins our broadcast in 2 minutes. We'll talk Dogs defense after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Dogs fans want exclusive access to season previews and game day information heading into the upcoming season? Then be sure to log on to GeorgiaDogs.com to download the 2020 Georgia Football Digital Fan Guide. Get everything you need to know heading into the season at GeorgiaDogs.com.
I'm John Addison, a lifetime Bulldog fan, Georgia graduate, and the chairman of distribution for Primerica, the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. Primerica is a Main Street company for Main Street families. We help people from all walks of life achieve their goals and dreams by offering common sense financial solutions to today's challenges. As a Georgia-based company, Primerica is proud to continue to sponsor Georgia football. Go Dogs!
The official Georgia football game program has gone fully digital and is now free to access. The paperback game program is no longer offered, so log on to GeorgiaDogs.com/digital to get everything you need to know heading into this week's matchup against Auburn. GeorgiaDogs.com/digital.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
This is Hondo for Engineered Solutions of Georgia, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. If you have cracks in your interior walls, foundation walls, or water in your basement, ESOG can help you come up with a solution. Dial 678 ESOG now. I've spent so much time around my house lately, I've counted the number of bricks on my home. Neil Hondo Williamson here for my friends at Breda Pest Management. You know what I don't see in my yard? Fire ants or mosquitoes. As the official pest control of your Georgia Bulldogs, Breda Pest Management keeps my home bug and critter free. Let Breda protect your home like they protect Sanford Stadium. Breda Pest Management, BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
At Zaxby's, there's nothing better than hand-breaded chicken, unless it's hand-breaded chicken with sauce. From sweet to savory, mild to wild, even that world-famous Zax sauce. Whatever you're craving, we've got the sauce at Zaxby's.
You're listening to Georgia football.
Over the shoulder catch at the 10, 5, touchdown right down the seam.
Now back to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Hogs on the Dogs' 3-yard line. They put Burks out in the slot to the left. Franks directing some traffic in the shotgun at quarterback. They bring a man around. That's Morris in motion around the quarterback. Franks dancing in the pocket. Going to be sacked back at the 8-yard line. A loss of 5.
Nolan Hammerhead Smith with the sack of Felipe Franks in last week's Dogs win at Arkansas. Eric Zier slips back into the Napa Tailgate show now. And Z, Nolan had a sack and a half. Nuckabee Dean got the other half. Are we seeing those two highly touted sophomores blossoming before our eyes?
Yeah, we really are. And they're not the only ones. This defense just continues to play at a remarkably high level. We talked about before the season started that if this defensive unit just maintains, they don't have to get better. They don't have to improve on last year's team and the performance of last year. But when you've got guys like Nolan and like Dean, and you could just list off almost everybody else, we are so deep. We are so athletic. It's just five-star guy after five-star guy entering into the football game, and it is tough for offenses to do anything. It is a defense that can win championships, and last week they didn't disappoint.
Yeah, harking back to Arkansas again, we brought the heat early and often, but I thought Felipe Franks exploited our pressure with his elusiveness, especially in the first quarter.
Yeah, he got outside. He was able to complete a couple of passes when he got outside of the pocket. The touchdown pass where Arkansas was able to get behind us, but really outside of a couple of plays that they really struggled. We knew if we put some pressure on him that he would throw us the football. Ultimately, he did, but no question. He had a couple of times where he did get outside of the pocket and delivered some nice passes. Give credit to him. But again, just kudos to this defense. They had a good game plan coming in. Very aggressive game plan last week as well. Don't think we're going to quite see that against this Auburn offense as we need to adjust and do a couple of different things against Auburn that we really didn't have to prepare for or guard against last week. But, yeah, all in all, a great performance.
Yeah, give credit to you, too, because you did say that in the pregame. If we can get him on the move, he will throw us the ball as he did several times last week. Today, Georgia must contend with Auburn sophomore quarterback Bo Nix. Last week against Kentucky, Nix was solid, passing for 233 yards and tying a career high with 3 touchdown passes, all 3 in the second half. Plus, Bo Nix was the Tigers' leading rusher, averaging 6.8 yards per carry.
Not the dink and dunk. It's the decision-making he has that gives him the opportunity to not throw picks. Smart quarterbacks avoid picks because they don't throw into situations that are adverse.
That's Coach Kirby Smart. Yeah, 218 passes here by Nix without an interception. Bo Nix is a smart quarterback. He takes care of the football, manages the game very well. It doesn't overwhelm you with his athleticism or really his demeanor out on the football field, but he is solid. He makes very good plays, and he's deceptively athletic, and he can hurt you running the football. We really need to go in today, make him one-dimensional. Had 34 yards rushing last week against Kentucky, led the team, 6.8 yards per carry. But it's the timeliness of the runs that he has. He's elusive. He's able to get out of trouble and then makes good, smart decisions when he does run the football. Have to eliminate that, get them into some must-throw situations. Hopefully we can limit his effectiveness.
All right, very good, Z. Thank you. Game plan in 10 minutes?
Love to.
All right, we'll see you then. Eric Zier, he'll join Scott Howard and Chuck Dowdle to bring you the play-by-play and analysis of today's SEC tete-a-tete between number 4 Georgia and 7th-ranked Auburn. Scott will join us next, and we'll hear from Coach Kirby Smart twice between now and kickoff at 7:38 on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Your heart begins to heal the moment you choose Northside Hospital Cardiovascular Institute for your care. We've added a team of the nation's very best cardiovascular doctors to one of the top community hospitals in the country. With their leading expertise and the powerful resources of the Northside Network, our doctors get to the very heart of your needs. Because bringing the best possible care to Georgia is at the heart of everything we do. Northside Hospital Cardiovascular Institute. Excellence at heart.
Angela and I had big plans for 2020. A new stamp in our passports, maybe a bathroom renovation. We definitely didn't expect to be worried about our income.
When life takes you out of one comfort zone, your Regions banker has helpful tools and advice to help you find a new one.
It's a relief to have a plan for whatever comes next.
Make your financial plan at regions.com/brave the beginning. Regions Bank. Member FDIC. Official bank of the SEC.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
At Zaxby's, chicken and delicious go hand in hand. As in hand-breaded, hand-seasoned, and handmade to order. There's only one place you can get chicken like that. Zaxby's.
Glory! Glory to old
Georgia. The dogs are unleashed, and so are the savings. Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. So sing, cheer, and put on your red and black in honor of our team. Celebrate the Dogs' journey to glory this football season with Scana Energy by calling 877-GO-SCANA or visiting scanaenergy.com to save.
Dogs fans, download the all-new Georgia Football Digital Yearbook now at GeorgiaDogs.com. Exclusive access to a season preview, player profiles, UGA history, and more. It's completely free to access. The Georgia Football Digital Yearbook at GeorgiaDogs.com.
The Dogs play here.
Wow! Power straight ahead. Touchdown!
You're listening to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Here's the kick off the tee. High end-over-end kick towards the far side. McIntosh fields at the 7. Far sideline up ahead to the 15, to the 20, to the 25-30, 35-40. Behind a blocker. Jumps over a man at midfield. And into the arms of a tackler at the Arkansas 45-yard line. A fine return by Kenny McIntosh.
We take a lot of pride in special teams. Special teams is very important. Regardless if you're a defensive player, offensive player, you're going to do special teams. And that's something I personally enjoy.
That's Georgia safety Lewis Seen, proud of the Dogs' excellent special teams performance in last week's season-opening road victory at Arkansas. From the Scana stage, the Napa Tailgate Show carries forward toward the Dogs' home opener versus our oldest rival, Auburn.
We were probably a little ahead of Arkansas in terms of the level of skill players that were out there. They're still in the process of recruiting guys and getting guys out there. We were probably better than them. But when you look at Auburn, which I've done all morning and all afternoon yesterday, they have all their starters, all their best players on special teams.
There's Coach Kirby Smart waving the warning flag that based on talent alone, Auburn's specials should be more adept than Arkansas's. The voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard, back with us. Scott, Auburn presents a higher plateau of opponent this week. I would say that it'd be pretty hard to duplicate Georgia's special teams performance of last Saturday against any SEC opponent, wouldn't you think?
It was a pretty good showing last week, but I'm hoping that the Dogs can have a repeat performance. Although Kirby was quick to say last week, while pleased initially, I think after a few days to digest it and to look at the video and really dissect what had gone on in the game, he spotted some errors and some mistakes, and he pointed one of those out to me on the Thursday night talk show. He said Kenny McIntosh on those 2 returns got tackled by the kicker both times. He said that has to stop. That can't happen.
Oh, that's funny.
But if that's if that's the low point, then you'll take it, because usually the kicker's the last line of defense.
Yeah, Coach. And Charlize Theron can't cook. Okay.
She can't.
Yeah, I mean, come on. No, it was really
a deal
really
breaker.
Good. That's a deal breaker, is right. Let's switch gears to the topic du jour. Georgia's quarterback starter last week, Dwan Mathis, who had a cyst surgically removed from his brain just 17 months ago. He took a wicked hit on a jaunt toward the sideline.
Actually, it was the opposite. He was fired up. He was pumped. He loves the game. He loves the competitive nature, and he doesn't believe in getting down. He likes contact, and I thought that was one of the highlights, that he took that hit and that he kept going.
Well, safe to say, at least we up in the booth, Scott, we were all pretty concerned when Dwan, when he got cracked. We were all like, ooh.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pop he took, and I think certainly Kirby even recognized that, because when he came to the sideline, I think a lot of people saw on television that if they could read his lips, if he had his mask down, you got to get down. And yeah. I think you want to see all your quarterbacks do that. You don't want to see them take unnecessary shots like that. I mean, that could have a residual effect, and maybe it did with Dwan. I mean, certainly that kind of hit stays with you for a little while until you kind of wear down and get over it, and hope that you're not going to take another lick like that. But I guess lesson learned for the youngster.
Yeah, get your bell rung and then join the presidential debates. I don't know. Yes.
Get down. Get down. That should have been the advice last week.
Oh, gosh. All right, thanks, Scott. Dwan was healthy enough to continue, and either he or last Saturday's hero, Stetson Bennett, are recently cleared to play. Transfer JT Daniels is expected to start tonight against 7th-ranked Auburn. Scott will return with head coach Kirby Smart and try to get the inside skinny on that QB1 decision and more in less than 20 minutes. And Eric Zier is next with today's game plan for number 4 Georgia's home opener versus our oldest rival Auburn on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Everybody remembers the amazing light show last year when we ran the Fighting Irish out of Sanford Stadium that made Georgia the envy of college football. I'm Kenny Mullins, business manager for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Every light in Sanford Stadium was installed by an IBEW electrician. We also light up the practice facility and many other buildings on campus. Learn more about the IBEW at IBEW613.org. Go Dogs!
Just when you think you've seen it all, here comes Fast and Easy Buy from Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. The fastest, easiest way to buy your next new car, truck, or SUV. I'm talking sub-4 340 fast. Pick your vehicle, pick your financing, and then pick it up. Now that's fast. Shop from your phone, your computer, anywhere. Fast and Easy Buy from Athens Dodge, 4145 Atlanta Highway, or AthensDCJR.com. Ram Power Days.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
At Subway restaurants, deals are delicious. And right now, you can choose from 2 great deals on delicious meals. Get a 6-inch cold cut combo, spicy Italian or Black Forest ham, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $6. Or choose a 6-inch chicken and bacon ranch melt, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or steak and cheese, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $7. Either way, you get a great deal on a delicious meal. Only at Subway restaurants. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Additional charge for extras, plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
Counting you down to kickoff.
He goes down underneath. Big George Davis crushed.
You're listening to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
Nix fumbles the football on the run. There's a pile up. Georgia thinks they have it. And we do.
Huge play in 2019's Georgia victory over Auburn. Time now for today's game plan, brought to you by Country Financial. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started at countryfinancial.com.
That's one of the best there is. Eli Stowe's been there forever, and we know how fast Schwartz is. They've got a lot of good wideouts in terms of their skill set.
There's Coach Kirby Smart. The great Eric Zier is with us on our set outside the bookstore on a quintessential October night. Seth Williams, who hauled in 6 receptions for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns versus Kentucky last week. He's just one of the top-notch Auburn receivers that Georgia must game plan to stop, or at the very least slow down this evening with new offensive coordinator Chad Morris as he's brought his wide-open offense to Auburn.
We had some mental bust that they didn't expose us on. You know, things that if you're sitting there watching, you're going, okay, we didn't do that right. We didn't handle that well. And someone's going to, maybe with better players, will be able to expose us.
That is Coach Kirby Smart, and yeah, no doubt about it. When you look at Seth Williams, Eli Stowe, Anthony Schwartz, all top-notch receivers, if there are mental busts, these guys can take it to the house in a hurry. Seth Williams, a big physical receiver, has got great hands. When you watched the game last week, looked like a man amongst boys, just the way he's going up and snatching the football out of the air. Very physical receiver. And within this offense, they throw the ball to set up another throw. A lot of quick game, a lot of screen passes, trying to get the ball on the edge to their athletes where they can get in space and go hurt you. Really going to be important that in tonight's football game that we're able to get in the line of scrimmage, disrupt routes at the line of scrimmage, and not let these guys run loose because they are a talented enough group to do a lot of damage.
All right, Auburn receiver Anthony Schwartz, who Eric mentioned, he's the self-declared fastest player in college football. He's got a resume to back it up, having set a world youth record in 2017 in the 100-meter dash. He also won the Florida State Championship in the 100, running a 10.07. And in 2018, he took the silver in the World Under-20 Championships. He fast.
He is very fast. 3 catches last week for 40 yards, averaging 13.3 per catch. When he gets the football in space, and that's exactly what Chad Morris wants to do, get the ball to my athletes in space where their athleticism can shine through, and he's got speed to burn.
Auburn managed to scant 91 yards on the ground versus Kentucky. Quarterback Bo Nix, as we've mentioned, was the Tigers' leading rusher with 34 yards on 5 carries. Out of Auburn's 91 rushing yards, just 50 were from running backs, see?
Yeah, and really didn't try to run it that much. Again, their running game is more to get the football out on the edge, throwing the football. So not really surprising that they don't have a lot of traditional running yards. The running yards from Bo Nix. Bo Nix does a great job of managing the football game, takes care of the football, is very efficient when he does scramble and run with it. He's able to pick up critical yards. But you don't get so locked into Auburn's rushing numbers, because they're going to go throw the football, try to get it on the edge, and use that almost as an extension of the running game.
All right, thanks, Eric. Well done with that game plan. And Eric will return with Scott Howard and Lauren Smith for a roundtable. And we have a sweet little one in front of us getting her picture made with the broadcast team. Hello. There she is. Now she's waving to us. Yeah. Well, they'll be back in 2 minutes. And Coach Kirby Smart less than 10 minutes away right here on the Napa Tailgate Show. Georgia and Auburn from Dooley Field, 7:38 kickoff. Better have those beverages iced down by now, baby. This is the Bulldog Sports Network.
Hey, Dog fans. Coach Kirby Smart here. Do you have a game plan for flu season? Get ahead of the competition by getting a flu shot at Piedmont. It's the smart thing to do. Stop by any Piedmont primary care, quick care, or urgent care location and stay healthy all season long. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to learn more and book online. Piedmont Healthcare. More ways to better.
The relief on the hot water heater fails. Pouring gallons of water into your finished basement. The drainage hose on your dishwasher breaks. Sending an endless stream of water onto your kitchen and living room hardwood floors. No matter what happens in your home, the cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro will be with you every step of the way until you're back on your feet. So when fire or water damage strikes, call on ServPro to make it like it never even happened. 1-800-ServPro and ServPro.com.
This is Georgia Bulldogs football, sponsored by Progressive's Home Insurance. Get your quote at Progressive.com today.
I'm Monty Watson, UGA alum and chairman and CEO of the Piedmont Bank. As a banker, I know numbers, and the numbers that matter most to us Georgia fans are the numbers that are on the scoreboard when the clock runs out. But in business, there's no scoreboard and the clock never stops. That's why at Piedmont Bank, banking is more than the numbers. Our business customers know they're ranked number one, and that means we never stop helping them reimagine their businesses in Georgia and beyond. Get to know us today at piedmont.bank/UGA. And most importantly, go Dogs.
In need of a new adventure? The best things happen outdoors, and it all starts with Gander RV. Did you know you can hit the road and see all of the sights America has to offer in a new 2021 RV for less than $5 a day? Plus, Gander RV has all your essential RV accessories to make sure you get the most out of your next trip. See America for less. Visit your local Gander RV off I-85 in Beaufort or online at ganderrv.com today. See dealer for full offer details. Offer expires 12/31/20.
It's game day for the Dogs.
Throw into the end zone. Touchdown Pickens. Touchdown Pickens. Back right corner.
Let's rejoin the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
Snap to Frank, stands in the pocket, throws, it's intercepted. Stokes, he's going to take it to the house, near sideline, touchdown of about 28 yards on the interception return for the score.
Eric Stokes made his first career interception, one to especially remember with that pick six. The Napa Tailgate Show continues from our Scana stage on the Tate Plaza. A mere shortstop to first throw length from Sanford Stadium. You could throw it into the stadium from here, right, Jay? Yeah, Jay Black says, yeah, I got it. Scott, Eric, Lauren, Tony, Jay, and your old buddy Hondo right here on the radio. We are home and grateful to be playing in a virus-threatened year, but the equinoctial start to the season, our latest calendar-wise since 1946, juxtaposed against the fact that for the first time since 1936, Georgia and Auburn will play before November strikes, gives this game an additional different feel, wouldn't you say, Scott?
You lost me in all that vocabulary.
Juxtaposed.
Equinoxical. What was that one?
Equinoctial means
the equinox.
Honor around the equinox. That's right.
I was looking at Tony. I was like, I'm going to need a thesaurus for the rest of this broadcast.
I need another word for thesaurus.
Yes. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Late start to the season, early visit by Auburn. It just adds to this whole thing being weirder.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think there's a commercial that runs on the radio or on television somewhere. It's just like everything is weird in 2020, and so why not college football and why not playing Auburn in your first home game in the first weekend of October? So, it does fit right in, and. What also fits right in is there's a lot of students in the building tonight. Student section looks pretty good. Most of them are kind of spaced out, so I can't say everybody is, but I think this is going to be considering the weirdness of this, I think it's going to be a pretty decent atmosphere here in Sanford Stadium tonight.
Well, it's the first time we've played Auburn this earlier in the year since the very beginning. 1892 played Auburn in the second game of the season, and that game was in February. And the mascot was a goat. Vince has always found out somewhere with his research that after the game, the students barbecued the goat. He thinks
I guess we lost, huh?
He thinks that was it. We did. Thinks that was the first tailgate party, but I go one better. The first game was with Mercer, 50-0.
Yep.
But a player on the team told our historian John Stegman, but that was incorrect because the scorekeeper missed 2 scores when he went across the street to buy some booze. So I've always maintained that the first game with Mercer was also the first tailgate party.
Wow, at Piedmont Park.
No, that was here.
Oh, that was here. Mercer was here? Auburn was at Piedmont Park.
No, Auburn was at Old Brisbane Park.
Oh, I've always heard it was Piedmont Park.
And I think in the early years we played at Brisbane Park.
How about that? Well, I did. Scott, give me the Johnny Carson.
I did not know that.
Thank you very much.
Wild, wacky, crazy, funny stuff. Weird, wacky, and wild.
Beautiful. Only 22,000 are estimated to be offered entry to tonight's SEC Showdown.
It just goes with this season. You have to be prepared for whatever comes your way, and you have to respond to that accordingly. And, we've had scrimmages in the stadium. So we kind of know what to expect.
Certainly wish we could have 93,000 there, but we won't be able to do that. So we'll do the best we can with the crowd we got, and we'll need them to be loud. I thought that Arkansas's group was good and loud.
Coach Kirby Smart, preceded by Bulldogs tight end John Fitzpatrick. The smallish crowd won't be foreign to Stetson Bennett should he get the call to start or play tonight. Bennett, who after his freshman walk-on season to Georgia transferred and played a year at Jones County Junior College in Ellisville, Mississippi, home of Bobcat Stadium, Sim Cooley Field, capacity 5,500. Scott.
That's probably bigger than the town.
Probably bigger than the town.
5,500.
5,500 capacity. So, I guess all the guys are used to it from high school football, but it's different.
Yeah, no.
It's different. You've been playing in front of 110 or whatever it is out at Southern Cal, and all of a sudden, you come here.
Once you've been in college for 1 year, certainly in the SEC, this is what you get every weekend. how many stadiums in the league now? I think at least 3, maybe 4 over 100,000, and then you've got a next tier that are 90,000 plus, and a next tier that are 80,000 plus. So, and then there's Vanderbilt way down at the bottom. It's about 39,000, but you come to expect that. But everybody, as we were told when we got into our booth today, what was the line? Make adjustments. What was it? Just adapt.
Just adapt.
Just quit complaining and adapt. So that's kind of what you do in this year.
Yeah, and once the ball is snapped, though, all of this kind of goes by the wayside anyway. It looks different when you're out in pregame and you don't have the stands filling up. Sure, you're going to fill it there, but as soon as that whistle blows and you've got all of the noise being pumped in through the loud system, the 23,000 fans or so, 22,000 fans, they will be loud. But once that whistle blows, it all really becomes white noise anyway and really shouldn't have much impact.
Here's Coach Smart on Stetson Bennett's outing versus Arkansas.
I thought Stetson did a good job when he came in. He's played a lot of football. He had good composure. He handled the pocket well. He handled the protections well. Stetson's seen a lot of football in his time. So with the stuff he sees from our defense day in and day out, taking all the reps last year, he was very calm and poised.
Bennett saved the day last week against Arkansas after an inauspicious start by Dwan Mathis.
Dwan did not play as bad as it seemed to some, and thought he did some good things watching the tape. And he had some unfortunate bad breaks that happened while he was in at quarterback.
Yeah, he really did. And this game is so much of momentum and confidence. And when you have a couple of things go bad, especially when it's your first time playing quarterback in the SEC against a quality opponent, a couple of things go bad, and now all of a sudden you start to lose a little bit of confidence. Things can snowball in the wrong way pretty quickly. I think that's what happened with Dwan. You can tell that he is an extremely talented young man. He is going to be a good football player for this Georgia football program over the course of his career. A rough start, didn't get much help. No question as well that Stetson Bennett, the minute he stepped onto the field with the experience that he has being in this program for a long time now, he brought a maturity and a calmness to him that really put everybody at ease and then elevated the play.
This is the Southeastern Conference. Whenever you play somebody in this league, there's going to be talent on the other side of the line.
Right.
So you're not going to just walk out there and have them lay down and just hand the game to you. But also, we brought the pro game to campus. A lot of moving parts. You don't have them every day like you do in the NFL. So they have to learn how to eliminate mistakes. Eliminating mistakes is probably the most important thing we need to do tonight from last week.
Which leaves us with 2 other quarterbacks to remark on, freshman Carson Beck and newly cleared to play transfer J.T. Daniels.
He's still got to be able to go out there and prove to us that he can do it in the game-like situations, in the practice-like situations, and that's not easy to do during the week.
I'm watching those 2 guys throw the ball right now in our red jerseys as Beck is warming up, and Daniels has stopped throwing now. He's got a brace on his right knee, and he's been cleared. So we'll see how those guys do. Back from Jacksonville. I don't really expect Carson to play tonight. He's behind all those other guys from what I can tell. But I still think Stetson will get the nod to begin the ball game. But I wouldn't be surprised at all. We see Dwan, and I'm not sure about JT. JT they may wait a little while longer before getting him into a ball game.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Stetson, based on his performance last week, and really just the way that the team responded to him, one of the things that we talked with the disruption that we've had in this offseason is who's going to step forward as a leader. Everybody looks at the quarterback position as a leader just because of the position that you play, but when you miss an offseason, you miss spring, and you're not able to be in the weight room with the entire team, it is hard to galvanize a team around you from a leadership perspective. Stetson, I think, stepped in, did a pretty good job of that. I do think we'll see multiple quarterbacks in today's football game, but I think Stetson's the one that is taking that first snap from under center.
All right, Warren, number 7 Auburn today, top 25 opponent Tennessee, undefeated next week. Number 2 Alabama the following Saturday. How quickly do we need to nail down a QB1?
Well, I think it should be an orderly process. You got to crawl before you walk. I don't know that it's important that we have somebody step up and say, you're it. But the more progress you can make towards getting an established quarterback, the better off the offense will be. And I've never known a coach that didn't want to settle on one quarterback. So it would be nice to get a lot of questions answered tonight, and I think we will.
All right, very good. All right. Eric's told us who he thinks is starting, and Lauren thinks we'll get things settled down, which is good news as number 4 Georgia hosts 7th-ranked Auburn. We kick off from Athens in less than an hour. Coach Smart joins Scott next on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Glory. Glory to old Georgia. The dogs are unleashed, and so are the Sapiens. Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. So sing, cheer, and put on your red and black in honor of our team. Celebrate the dogs' journey to glory this football season with Scana Energy by calling 877-GO-SCANA or visiting scanaenergy.com to save.
Slot right, blue 42, hot, hot. Great quarterbacks are rare. They're true leaders with a work ethic that never wavers and a desire to win that is second to none. We know a truck like that. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck 43 years straight. With impressive towing and payload, Ford F-150 makes tough jobs look easy. Visit your local Ford dealer and score a great offer on F-150, the official truck of the Georgia Bulldogs. Based on 1977 to 2019 calendar year total sales.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Now more than ever, it's important to support our local businesses, whether it's your favorite pizza place or your neighborhood barber. That's why I'm a proud member of Georgia's Own Credit Union. Georgia's Own has been serving our local community for more than 85 years. Whether they're saving you money on a checking account or credit card, or supporting the people, places, and teams that we've grown to love, Georgia's Own can't be beat. To learn more, visit their website at georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
You've got a great piece of land, ideal for hunting, but when it comes to managing that land, don't count on an ATV to do the job of a tractor. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact tractors can be and redefined what they do, making our tractors perfect for the cutting, hauling, digging, and plowing you need to do to create food plots and manage trails. Learn more at masseyferguson.us. See the newly designed Massey Ferguson GC 1700 and 1700 M Series today.
Welcome back to the Napa Auto Parts Tailgate Show.
In the pocket, nowhere to go. We got a sack it! We sack it for a big loss, and the ball goes over on downs.
Here again is Neil Hondo Williamson.
From under center, drops back to throw to the left. He's got a man. Touchdown! Touchdown! Terry Godwin, left corner, just inside the pylon. Welcome back to the Bulldogs Tailgate Show. We are glad to catch up with Coach Kirby Smart for a couple of minutes here as we take a look at the Inside Skinny. It's brought to you by Caterpillar. Our solutions help our customers build a better world. Coach, good to see you as you get ready for kickoff here against the Auburn Tigers. This is a big day for you guys.
Absolutely, man. This is what you come coach college football for, and what you play in college football for. Auburn, Georgia, top 10 matchup in Athens. That's what it's all about.
How was your week based on your game performance last week? What are some of the things that you were working on this week to get ready for Auburn?
Worked on a lot of things. We tried to cut down on penalties, got a little more discipline in terms of penalties. Those can be so costly, and they hurt us last week. So we started there, and then we just tried to execute a little better, trying to force some more turnovers, protect the ball on offense, get better for a big-time challenge in the kicking game that Auburn presents, and then obviously just try to get a little more movement up front so we can run the ball.
How do you coach your team to stop making penalties? What's your message there, other than, hey, quit making penalties?
Well, you try to define what they are and where they come from. They come from inexperience, and the only way to get better at that is get more experience, get more reps. Sometimes they come from trying to create things. You know, if you hard count a lot, then there's a chance you're going to jump off sides a lot. If you ask guys to get out of position and block somebody, then they're probably going to hold. And a lot of penalties are lack of doing your technical job the correct way. And if you can do it technically right, you're not going to get a penalty. But when you get surprised by something, you grab somebody and then you get a holding call.
Were you pleased for the most part with what you saw last week and your preparation in getting ready for this week against the Tigers?
Yeah, I was. I thought our team got better. I mean, I've never said we've had a bad week. I wouldn't say it was our best week either. So it's one of those that had really good practice. I thought Monday, Tuesday wasn't as good. Probably Wednesday and Thursday was okay. But I know that there's the intensity. I feel the intensity there when you're going against a great matchup. It's certainly not about motivation when you get to play Auburn, because our players are motivated to play against these guys.
How did your quarterback competition look this week?
This looks good. We've had all the guys. JT's gotten some reps and been able to get Stetson, Dwan, Carson. Everybody's trying to improve, and I think each one of those guys is certainly capable.
And everybody's cleared for today.
Yeah, I got the quarterback position, yes.
How about kicking? What were your thoughts on Jack's performance last week at the place kicking spot?
He did a good job. He's very composed. He understands his job is to put it through the uprights, and that ultimately that's what he gets judged on. And we put a lot of pressure on him throughout camp and throughout practice, and we'll continue to rely on him. And I think he's got good protection in front of him, and he's got a good holder.
What are some of the highlights that you saw in practice this week from either offense or defense?
Well, I would say defensively trying to play more guys, trying to play a little more discipline with our eyes. Our eyes got us in trouble some. I think offensively, trying to improve on a lot of things. Ability to throw and catch the ball with timing, make good decisions, get us in good plays. The things that you have to do to beat Auburn, which is, the team that's rushed the ball for more yards, I think the last 5 or 6, 7 games against them and us has won the game. So at the end of the day, you got to be able to control the line of scrimmage.
Is there a better comfort level for you and the staff going into week 2, because you've kind of seen what this situation looks like after 1 week of play?
Yeah, I wouldn't say comfort level. I think the comfort level comes from having a group of experienced and calloused players, and we're not experienced yet. We're still really young, and so are they. I mean, every team in the SEC is young at the beginning of the year because they're playing new guys. And I wouldn't say that I'm comfortable yet. I'd say that I'm ready for these guys to go out and compete and learn.
Well, as far as sideline decorum and stadium and noise and all of that stuff, did that give you a better feel of what to expect tonight?
Yeah, I think we're certainly more comfortable with that now and understand it's a different kind of atmosphere. I think it'll probably be even more different because it is at night. Tonight in the daytime game last week was a little more like our scrimmages. I think it'll be a little faster and a little more juice because they won't get as hot. We got tired last week. I thought Arkansas did too, and it's a little warmer in the 80s than we expected, and played a lot of snaps. But I expect that with the temperature cooler and nighttime, it'll be flying around.
What are a couple of things you want to see out of your guys tonight against Auburn?
Well, the biggest thing always is composure, discipline, toughness. We got to play really physical. We got to be able to move people. The game boils down to who can run the ball a lot of times and who can make explosive plays. And to be able to move people, you got to be physical. And we've got to do a good job of doing that. Put a hat on a hat.
Bulldogs and Tigers coming up. Coach, thanks for your time as always. We appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Kirby Smart. Hondo, we'll send it back to you for more of the Bulldogs Tailgate Show.
All right, thank you, Scott, and thank you, Coach. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network. In Coach Smart's 4+ years as the head coach at the University of Georgia, the Dogs have played top 10 teams 12 times, and they're 8-4. Pretty good, huh? The first 3 times were all against Auburn. Unranked Georgia upset 9th-ranked Auburn 13-7 in Athens in 2016. Then the next year, Auburn hammered us down on the Plain, but we came back and get them in the SEC championship game. As I like to tell my friends from Auburn, you can say we split this year, but we won the one that mattered. As the Dogs knocked off the Tigers 28-7 in the SEC championship game. We'll have more to come from the Tate Plaza outside the bookstore as Georgia readies to play Auburn. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Dogs fans want exclusive access to season previews and game day information heading into the upcoming season? Then be sure to log on to GeorgiaDogs.com to download the 2020 Georgia Football Digital Fan Guide. Get everything you need to know heading into the season at GeorgiaDogs.com.
Hi, I'm a 2020 census taker. As I walk around your neighborhood, you'll see my census bag and ID badge. We're coming by to assist anyone who hasn't completed it yet. and we'll be wearing a mask and following local guidelines for everyone's safety. We'll be asking some simple questions that will inform funds for healthcare, education, and more over the next decade. But right now is your chance to make a big difference. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
The official Georgia football game program has gone fully digital and is now free to access. The paperback game program is no longer offered, so log on to georgiadogs.com/digital to get everything you need to know heading into this week's matchup against Auburn. georgiadogs.com/digital.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey Bulldog fans, Coach Smart here. My friends at Georgia United Credit Union now offer Georgia Bulldogs Visa debit cards. Now you can show your team pride everywhere you go and spend. Pick your favorite design and score yours today. Georgia United makes banking easy, friendly, and smart for busy members like myself. Attack the day with a free checking account that pays big interest. It's the smart choice. Visit at gucu.org/Go Dogs for important account information. Insured by NCUA. Georgia United, the official credit union of Georgia Athletics.
I've spent so much time around my house lately, I've counted the number of bricks on my home. Neil Hondo Williamson here for my friends at Breda Pest Management. You know what I don't see in my yard? Fire ants or mosquitoes. As the official pest control of your Georgia Bulldogs, Breda Pest Management keeps my home bug and critter free. Let Breda protect your home like they protect Sanford Stadium. Breda Pest Management, BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
It's game day, and the Dogs are ready to eat.
And it is caught! Touchdown! Money time!
Let's rejoin the Napa Tailgate Show.
Snap to Bennett. Time in the pocket. Moves to his left. Throws. Comeback catch at the 8. Pickens. He's going to curl around and dive for the end zone. He got a touchdown in the left corner.
The last time Georgia lost to Auburn between the hedges, 2005, there were only 2 Fast and Furious movies at that time. Matthew Stafford was a senior in high school, and Dansby Swanson was in the 6th grade. We have not lost to Auburn between the hedges in some span. Since 2002, the Red and Black has won 14 of the last 19 meetings against our oldest conference rival, including the Dogs coming out on top in 6 of the last 7 meetings and 3 in a row against the Tigers. We are grateful that you've shared some or all of your late Saturday afternoon with us here on the Napa Tailgate Show. Our engineer for today's program is Tony Schiavone, assisted by Chris Schiavone. Zach Jewell is our studio producer. Young Jay Black engineering here on the Scana stage. And for Scott Howard, Lauren Smith, and Eric Zier, this is Neil Hondo Williamson. The Ford drive to kick off with Scott, Eric, and Chuck Dowdle is right around the corner. Then strap in, baby. It's a top 10 rivalry between the hedges. Number 4, Georgia. 7th ranked Auburn. I'll talk to you again at halftime on the Bulldogs Sports Network.